And if your headphones are too low or too loud, I can adjust those also. Okay. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Boom! And welcome to Big Honker Podcast, brought to you by Mitch Hall Chevrolet in Haskell, Texas. I'm Jeff Stanfield with the world-famous Andy Shaver.
That's right. You're here with me. Thank you. Thank you for that
lucky
intro.
to be here.
You're lucky.
With
Very
us,
lucky.
With us today, if we had a fight, my ass would be the bottom of the barrel on this deal. My good friend, James Steinbeck.
Hello, hello.
Badass Bubba the Menace.
Yo.
And Andy.
And Andy.
And
Andy.
Andy.
Let's put Andy in there.
World famous.
Now, Bubba, you're a retired UFC fighter.
So yeah, a retired MMA fighter. Yeah, still trying to compete a little bit in bare knuckle. It's not going so well so far, but you know.
How much different is that? Like, because I mean, there's not much padding in the UFC gloves, but there is more than bare knuckles.
Well, let's say this: I'm old enough to where I don't know exactly how much because I've lost a lot of chin and everything over the time.
It's a different style. Though,
Yeah.
man. You know, it's there's no really jujitsu and
bare knuckle boxing. But I'll say this too, though: grab any normal ring that you're in and such, cut it in half, give you about an extra 1 foot over. That's about all you got in those that BYB BKB ring that I was in. This last one, it was tiny. It was real small.
So you're not getting away from it.
No. You're standing there, which is good. It's okay. But at the same time, you know the skill.
That's kind of the whole deal about it, though, right?
Yeah, the whole skill thing is like you have to have a certain amount of skills that are going on with that. But at the same time, the guys that have been practicing things like me, like kickboxing, I'm better at kickboxing than anything else. I grapple, I wrestle, I do jiu-jitsu, you know, all these things, all better than I box. So boxing is my worst combat
the
sport.
worst thing you can do.
It literally is. But you know, whenever you start coming into the back issues and injuries that have piled up over the years, everything, like I'm 42 now, so everything that goes on with that, it's
so answer me this: who else is 42 and starts the worst thing they can do? Literally the worst thing.
Some other complete moron. You know, but at the same time, yeah, like it's in me. It's ingrained in me. It's one of those things I just want to do. Like, you know, I had 47 pro fights in MMA. I had 3 pro kickboxing matches. I've had 2 bare knuckle matches now. Shout out Chris. Well, I'm gonna try another bare knuckle boxing match. That's the only thing I can really do anymore professionally. Tell you the truth.
How about just be a dad?
Well, you know, I do that professionally also. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a good dad now. You know, the older kids, they'll say, "Yeah, you were gone, Dad." This one, he can't say that.
Hey, like was that your grandson we met?
Yeah.
Like, you know, teach them, man. You got invaluable knowledge.
Yeah, as I say, that's one thing too, though, is about passing on the knowledge. We talked about even on the way here. We were talking about it. It's I'm at that point where I want to pass it on what I know, things like that. So it's coaching and stuff like that. I'm always taking the opportunities to coach. I only get to coach 1 day a week right now, and I'm doing that at Amped MMA in Wichita Falls. I do that at Saturdays at 1 o'clock. You know what I mean? Just anybody who can come in, wants to learn some things. I got things to show.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah,
I've been doing this. Shoot, like I said, I fought my first tough man contest in 2002, you know, and I just fought a few weeks ago again. So you got to think I'm 20 some odd years into competing in combat sports. I kind of know a little something, but at the same time,
and the things everybody's been amateurs either. You've been fighting professionals, dog.
Yeah, it's been kind of wild.
When you first went, you were on that TV show. What was it called?
Tough.
The Ultimate Fighter.
The Ultimate Fighter.
Yes.
And I know a little bit. The boys watched it, so I watched a little bit. I don't know much about the UFC stuff.
Right.
So you got on that. How did you get to that? Because that's not just an easy place to even get to that point, right?
So I was actually supposed to be on season 11. I was my first season that I went and tried out for. I got on. The Bubba in me caught some charges, and whenever I did that, they were like, "You got to go. You can't come out here anymore." So that happened. Well, then I try out again for season 13. I got on. Craig is the guy who runs it all and everything. He's a dick. Don't get me wrong. He's one of those, like, he's there to make money. But if you're that redneck dumbass that comes in here and wants to fight, everything like that, he's gonna like you, you know. So I put out my vibe, and he liked it. And so ended up, he's like, when I came in on season 13, he's like, "I know you. I've seen you before." And I'm like, yeah, you love me. And he was like, absolutely, we do. You're going to the next port. Because on that, you have to start off, though, on every one of them. You start off, you have to grapple, you have to strike, and then you go to the interview portion if you make it past both of those. And there's 400 people sitting there in their same weight class, and they're going to pick.
All professionals, too.
Right.
Oh.
All professionals, all having a certain amount of fights. Like, I remember my first time to do it, there was a guy that Bobby Southworth was on the first season of The Ultimate Fighter. He was trying out for our season also on 11. Just who's who aren't on contract are in there trying to get a shot at that Ultimate Fighter show. And that's just how it goes, So, and being there was kind of like, oh, dang, I know who this is. Oh, dang, I know who that is the whole time. Oh. Because back then I was still pretty much an encyclopedia on who was in my weight class, what you had done, if you'd gone up and down, who you had fought, where you fought. I learned it. It was me. That was all I was doing.
That's how you win. Yeah.
Right. Well, season 13 ended up turning into where they went, oh, we're going to go to 170 pounds. Can you make 170? I was like, there is no way I'll ever make 170 in my life.
What do you walk around at?
Right now, I woke up at 213 today, so
That's a big cut.
and the bad part is this is my normal weight when I was fighting at 185 the whole time. Oof. This is what I weighed. But in between fights, I'd get between like 230, 235, somewhere in there. When I took my little retirement that I had for about a year right after we had Wilder, I got up to 255. I'm sitting there.
So tell us about the ice baths and stuff to get down to 185.
Oh, them hot baths? It ain't nice. It ain't nice. Yeah, the thing is, though, is I didn't start doing the Epsom salt baths, the green alcohol and Epsom salt and everything.
What does that do? Just cut weight off of you?
What you're doing is you're opening your pores, everything like that. You're trying to get that. You're heating up your core.
You're dehydrating the fuck out of yourself.
It's basically like, the sauna is a dry sauna thing. You're in there just heating up your core. What I'm doing at that point is I'm putting all that stuff in there, and I'm laying there, and you ever been in a hot tub too long?
Mm-hmm. It's like a noodle.
Exactly that. You feel exactly that after 20 minutes. So pretty much you're almost butt naked in there.
Hey, when your walk around weight is 225, 230, and you try to get down to 185, it's like wringing your body out like a fucking towel. With
how much
all
weight do you
the
lose on one of those?
your body, right?
So it depended on how many I had to do. The biggest ones that I did, I believe every bath you do 20 minutes in, I would do 20 minutes out. 20 minutes in, 20 minutes. So each cycle like that, I could lose anywhere between 3 to 6 pounds.
Good God, that's a lot of water.
5 pounds a lot.
That's a gallon of water.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the way it is like I say, you're heating up your core, everything. And don't get me wrong, I sweat very well at that point of my life. Like these days, you ain't getting me to sweat like that. It's not going to happen. But at the same time, that's how I was doing it at that point. But beforehand, it was all
like, we're fighting at 225 now.
Yeah, well, that's why I fought this last fight. They were like, we want you to make 200. I was like, I'll make 205. I accidentally weighed in at 201.8, but I didn't cut any weight in the sauna. What I was doing was just my dietary that I did and everything. That's how I cut it all. So what I was doing right there.
Workouts a week, yeah.
Well, yeah, my workouts are crazy, but at the same time, like the way that I would cut for a 185 fight without the sauna or the baths or anything like that is what I did for this last fight. So, and so I'm basically the same size I was fighting at 185 pounds.
Who was your coach?
I went through a lot of different coaches. I started off with Keith Sutton in
No, I'm talking about in the
on the show.
Yeah,
it was John Jones and Chael Sonnen were the coaches, but John Jones was my coach at that.
Is that the big black guy?
Yes,
Yeah,
he's the number one pound for pound guy MMA fighter of all time. He's the GOAT.
So did you have to spar with him sometimes?
I was already sparring with him for 2 years before I got to that show.
No shit.
Yeah,
You
we
were
were
in
training
Albuquerque.
partners. Yeah, in Albuquerque. Yeah, look what we were talking about. Hunter Tucker brought me out to Albuquerque, and I got to meet everybody. Met Greg Jackson. Was coming out for a little fight camp for myself. Tim Kennedy had just showed up because he was about to fight.
He was slimmed down then, though, wasn't he, John? When he slimmed down back then?
Yeah, he was only, man, he had just won the title like 3 weeks earlier when I met him, because I met him right before his birthday that was right after that. So that's when I met John, and yeah, he was a lot smaller guy than he is
heavier.
now.
Yeah, he's heavier now. He's big now, man.
But yeah, he's a
a
big guy now, yeah. But, at the same time, you talk about he's a lot smaller guy. That's a large man.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
That's
You're
a large
smaller-
man. Yeah.
in
Yeah, like you.
context-
You know
in
what I mean? Like
context,
you're 6'5", you know what I mean? Same size, things like that. But he had that long wingspan.
Right.
I remember first time I stood in front of him, and then Arlovsky was there, everybody else too, So it was just a who's who.
Andre Arlovsky,
Yeah. First time I stood in front of him, I'm backed up thinking, okay, get your breath in, get ready, here we go. And I got hit. And I'm like, how did he hit me from over there? You know, like I got hit a very long ways away. So you have to learn different distances with a guy like that. And then at that, his legs and the way he does. And it's crazy too, though. He's really good to sparring partners.
Oh, he is.
Yes. But like, don't get me wrong. There's things you run into stuff, things like that happen. That's normal in any gym. He's really good to sparring partners though, because like his spinning elbow, his side leg teeps, the things that he does like that is all show.
Oh, really?
He'll put it right in front of you.
No,
So he's
I mean,
not trying to hurt you then or nothing.
No, he's trying. Well, don't get me wrong. We're trying to hurt each other enough to where we're sparring hard and everything. But the things that are gonna really hurt you,
Yeah.
no, he never did that to me.
Well, he's teaching. He's teaching, man. You know?
Right. Well, and you know, spinning elbows, the takedowns, stuff like that just happen. Things like that. Like I say, he would pull a lot of that. Don't get me wrong. Like everything has its oops that wasn't supposed to happen. But at the same time, like great sparring partner.
Yeah, you know, and that's what I'm talking about. That's invaluable, right? That's
Yeah.
That is invaluable. He don't think that. It's just like normal to him. And it's not normal, dude. Normal people don't know John Jones and Andre Arlovsky.
They're
Yeah.
not fighting him for sure.
Yeah, you know,
Well,
like
the crazy thing about the Jones brothers is they said he was the
least
least
athletic. Yeah.
right, yeah.
Yeah. When I met
Dude's a
Arthur,
monster, man.
I met Arthur, you know, when he first came in and everything, and because I didn't get to meet Chandler but once, and it was as I was on my way out. And but Arthur came in a bunch and everything, and that dude is just like he big brothered him the whole time for everything, like jokes, you know, anything like walk around, pick on him a little bit. Good stuff to see, man.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
'cause
Like
human.
you can
Human.
tell he's the big brother. You know what I mean? Like he's it.
Are they Albuquerque kids? Is that where they grew
No,
up?
they were. Get me lying to you. It's somewhere New York type area. I can't remember.
So a long way from Albuquerque.
Yes,
then.
long ways away, but John would fly in and things like that. So John flew in for camps. He wasn't actually living in Albuquerque at that time. He was going back and forth. And but I lived in Albuquerque at that point. When I moved in and I stayed there for 3.5 years. I went up to the dorms in and out and everything. I lived at Damasio Page's place for a little bit. Worked at the LA Boxing that
that's
turned into
normal.
UFC gyms. Yeah.
So is this where they filmed the show at then? Was it
No,
Albuquerque? Was that in Vegas?
the show is filmed in Vegas.
That's what I was thinking.
So yeah, Vegas, and you are under wraps. You are the house that we were in. Holly Madison was in and out of it because she was going to buy it when we left, and she ended up buying it. I guess that's her house now. That's cool. So yeah, it was one of those. I never got to meet her, see her, or anything like that, other than like running around on the strip. But at the same time, like she was in and out of the house when we weren't there.
Yeah.
That's just kind of wild stuff. Like
Yeah.
in the basement
Very
was
cool.
the lap pool.
Oh, really?
And they set up like look how we would sit right here. There was a big wooden block over top of it with the circular ring for our face and everything like that, like everybody does for their their TikToks and everything else now.
Yeah.
We had
Right.
one of those in front of us here, and you'd sit and it's this close. You know what I mean? And you sit and you talk to a camera that's right here, but the producer is right behind about where you're at. And they're asking questions and you're just sitting there having a conversation. So that's just kind of how that went too. It was just weird.
Yeah.
So when you were there for that, were you hoping to get on John's team, or were you hoping to get on Chael's team to kind of
So-
see a different perspective?
So here's the thing. At that point, John is my dude.
Yeah.
Like me and John are pretty tight. Like we've had it to where the point where like he knew I didn't have no money, tried to come up, put money on me and everything. I was like, you can't give me no money, bro. You know, like, and he was like, dude, you got to eat, you got to do this and that and the other. I was like, then bring me food.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's like, well, what's your training gear look like? I showed him. Next thing I know, John Jones, and people don't know all this, but at the same time, being he's a good training partner, good teammate.
He wants you to succeed.
He
man.
he does. And he came in and he goes, hey man, and then he brought up 2 pizzas. I was like, dude, I don't eat pizza. He goes, damn. I was trying to feed you, you know. Then he breaks out a box. The box has, because at that time he wasn't sponsored by Nike, he was sponsored by Form, and he had Swiss. What is it? Those K-Swiss. He had K-Swiss shoes, stuff like that. I didn't get any K-Swiss shoes or nothing, but I had a Form. He gave me Form stuff. Everlast. He was sponsored by Everlast at that point. I had Everlast shorts, Everlast shirts, stuff like that, stuff to train in. Well, what's your boxing gloves look like? Well, they're crap. Here's 2 new pairs of boxing gloves.
That's badass.
You know what I mean? Like,
Good
then
dude.
he's got a box of everything, things that I didn't need. He went down to the gym. What do you need? Hey, do you need this? Do you need this? Do you need this? Throws a box of stuff on the mat and goes, whatever you need, everybody grab that.
Good dude.
Yeah, good.
That's
dude,
just
yeah.
what he did.
He
You know
wants.
what I mean?
He's trying to promote the sport,
Yeah.
man. You know.
Right? But at the same time, like, you had to earn it to be there at Jackson's at that point. You could get beat out of there real fast. You could get shown like, yeah, you don't belong. You need to go on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you were there,
Top level dudes,
yeah,
man. Yeah,
if you were
yeah.
there, like you were one of those guys that were helping everybody at that point, like you kind of, if you needed that stuff, go ahead and get that stuff, you know?
Yeah.
So, but it was dope, like having him hang out
So
and everything.
you lived in a house with the guys you were fighting against on this show.
On the TV show, yeah, we stayed in that house. The thing is the house was giant, but whenever you're there with that many guys and all that, it seems tiny.
Yeah.
I can
It
imagine.
seems tiny.
Was there a lot of bad drama at the house that come spill over from the ring?
You know what's crazy is no. There was the guys that were in there. I was the heel of the show, and the only thing is everybody was upset. Like Zach Cummings made the comment. He's like, "How did the guy that slept the whole damn show get the most airtime?" I was like, "I was the angriest," you know. But at the same time, I was angry because I cut weight 4 times in 5 weeks. You got to think about, you know what I mean? In the 5 weeks that I was there at that show, that I was still a part of the
That'd
show,
be so fucking hard, dude.
I cut weight 4 times.
That's
I'd
why
be in a
you're
pissy
angry.
mood, too.
I'd be in a fucking bad mood
Dude,
also.
Thanksgiving was on one of them, you know, like I had to sit there with Thanksgiving meal watching everybody grub that's out of it and everything. And I'm just like, I remember being so angry at one of the dudes that like I ended up fighting in the finale was eating and everything. I hated him. But and as a matter of fact, he was the one I went and stayed with and trained at his gym for my last fight. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, it's funny how things came around with these guys, but like everything that they did that was like fun. They built like boats and stuff like that. I slept through because I was just exhausted.
Miserable.
I was exhausted the whole time. I told
Yeah.
people too.
Stay
They're
exhausted.
like, "Do you want to do it again?" I was like, "If I could do a 205 show." I was like, "An 85 show again? No."
Why wouldn't they let you fight your weight?
Well, that's what I was fighting at. I was fighting at 185 pounds at that time. And that's what you cut to, and that's what you agreed to, you know? So they made sure when you showed up, because you're weighing in the next day after you show up, right? Well, they're like, all right, get on the scale. Because if you were like something stupid where you weren't going to make weight or something like that, they sent you right home.
Yeah, but when you declare you're already a weight coming. They already figured that you're
Right.
probably, they already
Right.
know you're already in that class, you know, so they're not going to try to take some 300-pound dude and say,
No.
okay, you got to fight at the 185, right? You're
No.
done.
They
Yeah,
knew
no,
that
that's-
was in your window, but you just got to work
He'd already
at
been
it.
Right,
He'd already been
yes.
fighting at that before.
What's the biggest crowd you fought in front of?
Either Mandalay Bay for my finale on that show or American Airlines Arena when I fought Sean Strickland. It was my last fight in the UFC. It was the Johnny Hendricks, Robbie Lawler fight, the second one they had. So it was UFC 171 was the last one that I was at like that. And I came out to jump around and got my whole ass whipped. Sean Strickland is who I fought that night and everything. It was his UFC debut. I took that one on like, I think it was like 9 or 10 days we had to take that fight. Well, my family had already bought a bunch of tickets. Tor Trong is who I was supposed to fight. Another guy from my show. We were supposed to fight that night. And I'd camped it out, had everything, like was so supremely confident about it, was ready to go. And then you get a changed fight and get out there. You know, it's one of those, like, I'm not in the same frame of mind, but at the same time, like, still got to go out there, do your thing. You're supposed to be the bigger guy. You're supposed to be the veteran, you know, things like that. And you got this guy that walks out, and the first thing he says to you as you get out there and swing your first couple at each other, and he goes, "Come on, motherfucker!" And I'm like, and yeah, I've literally got a picture on Getty Images where you see me laughing, and that's exactly when he said that. That's why I was laughing. I was like, "God, you're real serious,
Smart
aren't you?"
business.
So it's just a job to you.
It was one of those at that point. Yeah, like
So-
I did this every day.
See, like a guy like me, I'd be like, motherfucker's fixing to whoop my ass. It's going to hurt. I don't want no part of this shit. Hit me once, I'm done. Like I tell people, I'd fight Mike Tyson for $100,000.
Right.
Because he can hit me one time and I'm fucking being a bitch and I'm getting out of the fucking ring.
Hey man, I don't know if I'd fight him for 100,000.
Well, and that's here's what I'm
a
gonna
million,
say.
maybe. I fight him for a million.
I'd take a hit for $100,000. I think.
I will
I'm
fight
not
anybody
Tyson
for the
here,
right
bro. I don't
money.
know.
I will fight anybody for the right money. That is absolutely
Yeah,
correct.
yeah,
but at
yeah.
the same time, that's
Whoa. You're fighting somebody. I'm just getting hit.
well.
And,
Oh no, I don't want to lose.
yeah, well,
And that's the thing too. Is
I'm
about
reality.
anything I do, I don't want to lose.
Hey,
No.
in reality, though, that's because there's a different mentality. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference. There's not a man on this earth that I wouldn't fight.
Yeah,
right?
I
You know what
I'm
I'm saying?
not
Like,
gonna-
for the right reasons.
Yes,
Like I'm standing
yes.
up, I'm gonna handle my business
Yeah.
10 toes down. You know, but there's some people I wouldn't want to fight. You know what I'm saying? Like for real.
I wouldn't want to get in a ring with Mike Tyson because,
I
or
don't want to
anybody
get in a
like
ring with
that.
fucking Clay Reed.
No,
Dog.
no, I don't
Better
want to
have your fucking hands up.
Yeah, I don't want to fight nobody at all. I'm too old for that shit. But when you know you're getting in a ring with Mike Tyson or somebody, or just you, what your fighting is, your mentality is that I can beat this guy.
Automatic.
I'm not a fighter like that. So for to me, it's just crazy. the friendships that you guys have. And it always amazes me when I watch these guys, because you can see some guys fighting, them motherfuckers don't like each other.
Right.
And there's sometimes it's just a job. Like Sugar Ray Leonard and Roberto Duran, when they fought back in the day, I don't think they hated each other.
No, it's
it was
respect.
a job.
It's
yeah.
definitely mutual respect.
Job.
But here's the deal too, though. We was talking about this on the way here. Is that because you know what it is, man? Is this is really why we love each other so much. This people don't understand that about us. To us, that's normal, right? It's like it's normal. It really is. And I told him, I said, I didn't realize that wasn't normal until I met my wife, right? It's like, that's not fucking normal for you to, to be like that,
Right.
But people like us understand that mentality, right?
It's weird, yeah.
And that's why there's that respect. Like, so if we fought in arenas and afterwards we're buddies like a motherfucker, because there's only 2 of us. There's only 5 of us that think like this.
But that's right. The average person does not get that. Like when I watch a fight on TV, if we buy a big fight, there's not much boxing no more. Like
Canelo fights tomorrow on Netflix.
Man, I can't wait to see
Hey, he's
that.
gonna whip the shit out of Crawford's. Crawford's fighting at a weight that he's never fought at before. So Canelo fights at that weight.
Hey, I'm
you
gonna say
seen
like
the-
this: he fought Earl Spence at a heavier weight too, though. Spence is one of the dudes that I liked watching fight too, and he made him look bad.
Have you seen Yoel Romero is fighting? I guess he's fighting tomorrow too. Have you seen
No,
that
did you
poor
see?
guy?
Did
He's
you see
fighting?
his? Well, did he pull out? Did you see that Kimbo Slice Jr. pulled out on him?
Well, he's fighting.
Is he fighting somebody new now?
He's fighting somebody new, and this,
Okay.
I mean, I don't know anything about this guy, but
Who is
I've
it?
seen Yoel Romero at the weigh-ins. Dude,
That's an oddity person.
42 years old. I'll pull up a picture here in just a second.
Is he that old? I thought he was older than that.
42? Because TikTok or
We're the same age. Hey, man.
X is
I'm
going
just
crazy
playing. I'm just
about
playing.
how this is gonna go.
I'm old, man.
Yeah. So here.
42 hurts.
Yeah, well, 55, dog, it hurts real bad.
Yeah, no.
55 hurts and don't heal.
And then that's the guy he's fighting.
my
Oh,
God.
you're out
Who's
of
he
there.
fighting?
You're out of there, bro.
Who is that?
Who's that?
It looked like me about 20 years ago. Got
See
racetrack.
if I
Two-
can find it.
212.
Yeah, as I say, shoot, he's my weight right now.
I was about to get fucking
He's an
murdered.
85er. But at the same time, I'm still fighting 200s now.
So you
too.
fought at 185.
I did.
What did Ronda Rousey weigh at her heaviest when she was on top of the world?
Competing, she was, I think, her bigger weight class. She fought at 145
45,
once,
yeah.
but at the same time, like when she held the title, it was 35.
35.
Me and Andy used to,
Theo Dukas?
Dawkins.
Dawkins?
Dawkins?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
They fight tomorrow. Or no, they fight tonight
Is that tonight?
at the Hard Rock.
Oh, is it BKFC?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Bare Knuckle. Gotcha.
me and Andy used
Oh,
to
man, I have seen that. I did see some videos with that guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yoel Romero
yeah.
is a.
Well, he was part of.
They don't create humans like him.
Well, he was part of like the Cuban experiment or whatever. His neck's all fused together, and I mean, they don't know really what he is.
Yeah, they don't make humans like him.
his next.
I mean, when I say that
Right.
as like I'm being. I can't tell you how serious I am about. They don't make humans like that.
Yeah.
Like, what is he?
He's
Like,
a cyborg.
a genetic freak.
something.
Yeah.
It's not. You're not supposed to be his age, his athletic skills, his anything.
How old is he?
42.
Yeah, I'm 42, and you see, I got gray everywhere, right? I'm a broke down human.
but
I tell people.
black guys age different than white guys do. You can see an old black guy 75 years old and you'll think he's 52.
Well, at the same
I saw a guy
time,
the other day, he's 114. I go, how old are you?
what was the joke? You got that one guy. How old do you think I am? There's a comedian that does it, right? He's like, how old do you think I am? He's like, oh, you 35. I'm 76 years old.
That's exactly right. I met a black rapper one time at the casino. This guy had the gold chain. Looked like what's the black guy from New Orleans everybody likes? The one that got the tattoo. The only place I got my tattoo at.
Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne looked just like Lil Wayne. And we was talking about he was a Trump guy, and that's what got me to talking. We was talking about politics and stuff. And I go, "What do you do for a living?" He goes, "I'm a rapper in Dallas." I was like, "No shit." I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Shit. Bitch, for my age, you think you're surprised I'm a rapper?" I go, "How old are you?" He goes, 76. I go, "Huh?" I go, "You shit me, right?" No, he showed me his driver's license. I thought, that's a fake
76.
ID. There ain't no way you're 70.
Ain't
A 76-year-old
fake ID.
rapper. He had freaking grill and shit on him. And he had his hair down. And then I started looking when he went away. His old
Was it Lil Jon?
he had fucking holes in his head where his hair. He didn't have much hair. What he had was braided.
Braid,
plugging,
yeah.
huh?
Yeah, Lil
I could-
Jon, man.
But he was a rapper in Dallas. Good dude, but just surprised me. So, anyways, me and Andy used to have this conversation about Ronda Rousey back a long time ago when she was fighting. And I said, Ronda Rousey is not going to whoop a regular dude that goes and does some jiu-jitsu. Just not happening. Andy said she could have.
All right, depends on how long are we talking about at a training.
When she was in the best of her time, when she was the
Okay.
top notch, some guy that's a black belt is going to be.
That's
'cause
not
he's-
what you said.
What'd I say?
You said any average man
That fights.
could take. No,
that
you didn't
fights?
say that fights. You said any average man that has average strength could take her. And I said no.
Because he could pop her in the chin. Now, I've
In a
changed.
street fight.
In a street
In
fight.
a street
yes.
fight, it would be a different
Because he's stronger than she is.
there's a different mentality.
Here's
You
what I'm
know,
gonna say-
it's-
here's what I'm
it's
gonna
not-
say to you,
I
though.
don't know if he'd be stronger than Ronda Rousey, but I'm telling you, there's a different mentality.
Let's
when
go
it
weight
comes to-
classes. What? How big can this guy be?
He said my size, so
Andy size.
170.
Yeah.
No, she's beating the hell out of him.
That's what I
Well,
said.
I used to say I would have argued with you, no matter how big and bad you were. I mean, I'd argued with Matt Hughes when he was here about shit. So I'm going to argue with you.
Well,
So
let
I'm
me-
hard headed.
let me tell you where you're gonna fuck up.
It changed. It changed. Since I went to jiu-jitsu for 3 months now,
Yeah,
my whole mentality. Yeah, I've learned a lot more.
Hey, let me
shit.
tell you where you're gonna get
3
fucked.
months
You're
of
gonna get fucked
jiu-jitsu
up.
is
with
I
Ronda.
learned I get my ass
Hey,
whooped real
here's-
fast by a girl.
Here's what I'm
gonna
gonna tell you
drop-
too.
you're gonna
though.
drop your hands
6
'cause
months
she's
is
pretty.
your little click. 6 months is usually when you click.
Well, it ain't
I
clicked
tell
for
people
me
that all
yet.
the time.
I told
Jiu-jitsu is about those clicks. Once you're like, that's how that works.
Yeah,
You know what I
you
mean?
get it.
6 months. You need at least 6.
I'm in it for a long time until
There
I
you go.
die. I
Good.
enjoyed going, but I'm just saying. I learned my whole thought process about fighting a girl was because I said something to town. There was a girl in town that's my youngest son's age, and I said, "Boy, she whipped my ass," and she did. And he goes, She really whipped your ass?" Well, yeah, I wasn't gonna elbow her in the face or nothing. We're
Right,
jujitsu
yeah.
and shit, but.
If it's
You're in
time
a
to
control-
elbow her,
you're
She
in a
whipped my
controlled
ass.
environment.
Now, she also didn't elbow me in my face. She could have
Correct.
done that too. 'Cause
Exactly.
She might have showed me the bottom of my foot while she was elbowing me in my face. So my thought process has changed. Now, Ronda Rousey ain't whooping a guy that's training in UFC that's at the same weight.
Well,
as
here's what I'm gonna say. If you put any female, and even Jessica, what's her? I'm trying to think of her name right now. She's freaking title. Just has the title. trying to think of it. Venezuelan Vixen.
Yeah, the Latino girl.
Yeah, but Venezuelan Vixen is her name. I can't even think of it right now. I was even at her tryouts for the Ultimate Fighter. What the heck? What's her name right now? Juliana Pena.
Okay.
Is that her?
I'm looking it
That's
up.
who it is, I think. Either way, though, she got hurt by the guys in her camp while she was a UFC veteran already. She gets hurt, and she'll tell you the guys in there at her same weight class will rock her shit. Mm-hmm. And that's just the way it is. Same weight classes, same thing. You're at the same level.
At the same level. Yeah.
Guys and girls, there's
They're
just
made
genetic
different.
difference.
Right.
Thank
This is
thank
where it
God they
is.
have vaginas, because if not, we'd kill them all.
And listen, even in a regular street fight, in the regular street fight in the regular world, man, the thing is, there's if a real man knows he's about to get in a fight with a woman, there's not too many fucking women that are going to whoop that dude. You know what I mean?
Well, and here's the thing,
It's
too,
all-
though, is
it's
anything
always
that ever
about the
goes
man,
on,
you know
Yes.
what I'm saying?
like as such, whenever you got, that's like I told people in bar fights, whenever I was bouncing for so long, I was like, bar fights, a woman will get it just the same as a man will.
Yeah.
But the thing is, though, is
Anytime.
because I've had more women try to bottle me and stuff like that all the
right.
time. They're trying to hurt you with
Yeah.
something else. They're
Right.
not trying to fight you. They're trying to do something
Stab
bad
you.
to you.
Yeah.
Yes. And as like I told people, I said, when I was bouncing, a woman would get it just the same as a guy because of those things.
Right.
And it's like, say, had to get to that point where I was protecting myself. So, and it's people are like, oh, I can't believe you did that. I'm like, shoot, I'm going home.
Hey,
you know,
I'm knocking everybody out and just around.
You know what's crazy? I've known who Bubba has been for a long time. You in person are a completely different person than I was thinking. I was expecting some fucking guy to walk in.
Is that a
here.
compliment, Jeff? Because
Yeah,
was that
you're
good or
just-
bad?
How's Bubba supposed to take this?
No, what I thought he was going to be like was real cocky, arrogant. I can whip your ass
but
type deal, and
humility.
he's not. He is a
Humble.
very, very humble, nice man.
Yeah.
If I saw you, if I was on an airplane and you sit down next to me, I would enjoy our conversations.
Oh, yeah.
Not knowing, because you don't come across at all like the fighting guy that I thought. And I've only been around a couple of guys that were big time UFC fighters, and most all of them have been. Well, Matt Hughes was very humble too.
Matt Hughes had a part of his life that came crazy for him. He was always a country boy and everything like that, but man, me and him didn't get along too well a couple of times before his everything. But at the same time, like, you throw all that away and everything like that, and you, after somebody has something horrific like he had happen to him, you throw that away. You don't care about that anymore. And the person that he is nowadays, like, I want to meet him again. You know what I mean, type thing. Because the times that we came across each other, we didn't have a good altercation. You know
Well, I
what
just saw a video of Tim Sylvia talking about, because Tim Sylvia was training
Me and
with
Tim
him.
Sylvia are very cool. I trained with him for.
He-
as a
he
matter of
was
fact, he
like-
came to me for. I was his conditioning coach and a grapple coach for him for 2 of his fights that he had.
Oh, really? But
Sure
yeah, he was
did.
like, Matt Hughes hated me. He was like, and I
Yeah.
like finally one day, like, it got so bad. He was like, Matt, like what can I do? Like, he's like, I just don't like you. He's like, well,
Yeah.
can we like at least be friendly about it? He's like, no, I got enough friends.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was it.
That was how he was. But at the same time, like, you have a humbling experience like that. I'm glad he is. I'm glad he's okay. Like I say, we'll get to that part. Like, I am glad this human is okay. I'm glad that he did not make it to the pearly gates with that kind of end.
Right.
We
You know,
listen, man, there's a reason too that why there's only like a couple of 2 or 3, 4 or 5 badass fighters that are humble, right? Because it's hard. That's a hard trait to have and be
yeah. Knowing
also the
that,
best. You know what I'm saying? You know
like
what I mean?
Mike Tyson.
Very fucking hard.
Mike Tyson is a lovable guy, like Snoop Dogg.
hey, he was
But
fun
and
to
Mike-
meet too.
But when he was, you know, people something, you know, fucking like that. He wasn't that cool, but as he got older, he was.
Yeah.
But like George
He got
Foreman,
humility.
George Foreman was a very likable person, and that might have been just TV. But George Foreman come off as the old country boy that lived down the road from
To me,
you. that
that's
his
the way
cows-
John Jones is.
Well, and this thing too is if you come across him and you talk to him and you have a normal conversation with him, yeah, he's another human,
Right,
Like
just a
how we
human,
sit
just
here
cool
and
as
talking
fuck,
right now.
humble and-
We have it's like I've told everybody. I said I've met a lot of really
Like it
famous
kill you,
people,
right? Like it could kill you.
and the thing is about every one of them, when you sit down and you hang out with them and you actually hang out and you get to be in their atmosphere and stuff, we're all human.
Yeah.
We're all humans. We all want to sit here and just hang out and laugh and have a good time
Right.
and things like that. That's just
it,
the way
man.
it is.
Life's too short. Make the most of it.
Right.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. There are exceptions on here's and theirs. But like I say, the ones that are really out there in the public eye that I got to hang out with, literally, I was like, I could chill with you daily. You know what I mean? Like, it's just the way it is. And then at that too, though. But I have, for a long time, put off the persona of being that guy that you're talking about for my own self-protection, stuff like that, things like that. Like people they want something, or they want to cut you down, or they want to say that, you know, they want a shot at you or something like that. So when you hold yourself in a different air, it kind of makes people question wanting to do that
Right.
Yeah, you got the old drunk at a bar wanting to see how tough you really are.
all the time,
all the time.
all the
Yeah.
time.
That's why
And
I
like,
quit going, man.
you know, we had this conversation too. You know, back home, I've got people that I had a 130-pound guy who sells dogs for a living because I told him, because they were laughing at me and putting like me getting knocked out in my last fight on the internet and laughing about it, and everybody thinks it's just a joke. Had him call me up when I said, "Hey, if you can do so much better, come on over here. I'll
I
be
saw
sparring at
this
this point."
post.
Okay, so you saw that post. I had a guy, and I even said this on the full load last week. Had the guy call me up and tell me he was going to find my house and murder me and my children and this, that, and the other. You get what I'm saying? Like, and I'm like, because I've been shot for a child already. I had a child murdered, everything like that. And I'm sitting here basically having to go, come do it then.
Why would someone do so? I don't understand the meanness.
Because
of
everybody thinks that it's a joke and it's a game until it's them.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
So I have all these jokes and games played with me regularly. Like I have to sit here and listen to people talk crap about me 24/7.
But listen, man, they take for granted the reality of the situation.
And they
though.
do.
That's
And they do.
exactly
And
what
here's
the fuck they
here's
do.
crazy part.
What
too.
bothers me about this whole thing is you had a child that was murdered, and for some low life son of a bitch to do something like that, that's as low as you can. That's like the people laughing about Charlie Kirk
Hey, you
getting
know,
murdered.
make it
Oh,
worse,
yeah.
though,
And here's-
don't do
he had a
stuff.
child that was murdered, and the fucking people that do that shit to him, they know his old lady was probably still in prison, right? So they're fucking with him while he's the only parent that's out for this kid. Man.
That bothers me. That
Oh,
for
my
you,
God,
that
dude, it
pisses
makes
me
No,
off.
and it's that's just my life though. Here's and it is
Infuriating,
I'm
dog.
at a point in my life now too though where when we were talking about it on the way, I am trying so hard to be a more godly person. This is things
Very
I've been
proud of you.
trying to do and trying to live better. And even in my last fight, I had to live better standing in front of another man and things like that. And it just hurt my feelings to the core to be sitting here and having somebody say these things, do these things, and me not actually acting on it.
Yeah.
Like I'm telling you what I want to do and things like that with me and that guy, but at the same time, like I want to hurt you.
It's unbelievably
with,
hard.
with every little tingle that's going through my fingers. You know what I mean? Like I want my
Yeah, and you're
thumbs
the
to-
one's going to get in trouble when you pinch his head off.
Right. And that's the thing is, like I say, I feel, and I tell people this, and I tell them like this is a real thing, and I'm not trying to be like funny about it or be like, oh, or get any sympathy about it, but I feel my fingers wanting to slide into
your
eyes.
eyeballs.
Yes. Like I'm like, I want my thumb to
People
be in
don't
your
understand
skull.
the level of self control, right? You know, that's what I told him. I was like, dude, you don't realize it yet. I do because I'm older than him and I've been through it already. You know what I'm saying? So I know what it is. That's when you learn humility. when you're in that moment.
And I'm
right?
trying.
You
Like I
know,
say,
That's when you have to do it. And then when you get through those moments, and then you get with God, you know what I'm saying, and you get through those moments, and then you look back later and you go, man, I'm fucking stronger than I was, dog. I'm better than I was.
Right.
That's a
I
big
just-
part. That's
It
a
is
big
so
part of
hard
it.
at the moment,
I
though,
know
ain't it,
that
bro?
things that I can do now and sit and talk to and talk through and calm myself down a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot better than it's ever been in my life.
Well, this thing right here is the problem: is computers.
It is.
These
It is.
fuckers get on
Yeah.
computers or the phone, and
Yeah.
they're like,
Come on, none of them do
I'm
that.
not going to. No, they're not
Well,
going to
none
see
of
in
them do
person.
that.
That same guy, I don't know who the hell he is, but if he's at Wichita Falls, it's not a very big town. I mean, it is, but it's not.
But, you know, and that's
But
the thing, too,
If you
though.
walked into that guy at 7-Eleven, he wouldn't say shit.
No, he'd pee on himself.
That's
dog.
right. That's
He'd pee
exactly
on
right.
himself. We've been through it, man. We've done it. This happens so many times. And see, the thing is that when we go out and hang and do things, we don't do the shit that we used to. But when we would go places, it would be that, right? We don't want. And I'm trying to walk in. I don't want people cowering down and being scared of me. I'm not trying to bully nobody. We're not trying to in there. We're just trying to eat. You know what I'm saying? We're just trying to go get a drink or something, man. We're not in there to do that shit all the time. And it never stops with those fools.
What?
So how do you toe the line of selling a fight, but then it going too far and getting too
So
personal?
that's what happened in my last fight. So the guy that I was
He's a talker too, a big talker.
he's a big talker, and he was talking right off the bat, and he asked me, he said, like, to start with, he was like, "Hey, I want that smoke," and I'm like, "Yeah, cool." And I even put it out to people. I was like, "Yo, that's cool or whatever. Like, if he wants it, he gets it. That's fine."
Yeah.
Well, then ends up he goes, "You ready to get them cheeks clapped?" And I'm like, "Hey," and I'm like,
That crossed the line.
"That's
Yeah,
weird."
that's across the line.
Thank you.
dog.
Yeah, that's
I'm like,
weird.
"That's weird," and I'm one of those like,
Men don't say shit
if
like
you want
that
to
to me,
talk
man.
a little bit, that's cool and all that, but don't tell me that kind of stuff. And I said, "Hey, man," and I even put it out right there. I said, "Hey, man, I understand." I said, "You want the fight and everything." I was like, "But be a little cooler about it with me like that." And he puts back a GIF of The Rock, and it says, "Shut up, bitch." And I was like, "All right, bitch. Now you got to." Now I said, "Now you'll never fight me for money." I said, "You can fight me in the fucking alley." And I said, "And what'll happen is you and me can end up both of our fucking careers out there." And that's
Right.
exactly how and I was like, "All right, Bubba, you're not trying to be this guy. You're not trying to be that either." So what I did after that, he said something else. I can't remember something else that happened. I just blocked us. Well, I blocked everything, and I was like, I don't need this. I don't need to talk to this dude. I'm just going to go ahead because, like I say, I want the things I talk about. Like, and even my preacher and everybody else was like, "Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that?" And I'm like, because it'll be false right now. I am a false person if I do that, and I'll be damned if I go and do something and then turn around and like, no, I'm gonna do this instead. So for a long time, I'm just like, nope, not doing that. Nope, not doing that. So right here, I'm like, you're doing this, Bubba. This is what you're trying to do. So I'm up there at the in Colorado when I leave for the fight again. My son's been talking crazy with this guy because my son, he's mini me. And
How old is he?
he's 19.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's a
And
knuckle-
I mean,
knucklehead.
my 19-year-old is he's a full-on retard, and I don't mean any disrespect by saying the R word. Anybody that say that, but this is what I call him because he's a goofball. And
Calls him like a season.
hey, but I love this kid. Don't get me wrong, because me and him have had ups and downs, issues and things like that. But he knows Dad did some things, even though people try to disrespect and things like that. Dad did some things. Like, he did things that other people just don't do normally, and I had to climb things and sacrifice a lot of stuff to be able to get there. So he has a real high respect for it, and he wants everybody else to have it also now, which I love.
Hey, I'm
because
laughing. I'm
that is
laughing about
hard.
this. I'm laughing about this because we were talking about this same thing on the way here.
Yes.
Because we're like, we don't tell our kids things, right? That we try not to. Because I didn't realize that it's not good to glorify Pablo Escobar and shit, right?
Right,
It's not
yeah.
those things, and I didn't really understand that till my wife saved. The world owes my wife a debt of gratitude, right? Because
You lived your
saved y'all
life.
from me, motherfuckers. Right? But I didn't know that wasn't cool, right? And we were talking about this and then our kids, they the biggest small town in America, right? So they go out and they find out shit.
Yes.
Then they like call you like, "Hey, Dad, I just heard blah blah blah, whatever. Is that true?" Yeah, it's true. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I was telling him. I was like, when I got a couple of calls, I'm like,
Yeah.
I did that.
So does he fight too?
So, all right. So, small stuff. This child is not a trained fighter at all.
Is that what he wants to do though?
So, no. He wants to fight just to say he's fighting, but as a profession, it's not what his
He's
goals
not cut
are.
out for it.
Right.
Right.
And at that, don't get me wrong. This child mentally, he doesn't care how big you are, how much you're going to beat him, anything like that. He's still going to stand in front of you. I have seen it. I've watched
That's
it.
called courage.
Like, he has cojones, like straight up. But at the same time, he's 6 foot, 155 pounds. He has no lead in his ass. So, and then I tell him, I was like, son, this is hard because I know exactly what you want to be and what you want to do and things like that. When you're saying the things like that, I was like, you're not built that way.
How many fighters really want their kids to be fighters, though?
I doubt there's a lot.
I mean,
I
that's
doubt
just-
there's a lot.
I mean, it's just like pro football players. There's a lot of pro football players don't want their now the linemen and linebackers for sure. Now quarterback may yes to, but most pro football players like, listen, I wish my kid would do something else because when he's 45 years old, I don't want him just where he can't walk. He's
gonna be hurting.
I want to ask you. I want to turn this to a kind of a dark part of a conversation because you went through something that's very well known. And it's tragic, and if it bothers you, we won't talk about it.
No, we're good. As a matter of fact, I got the cut on that has it on the back of it. You know what I mean?
Your son was murdered by a low life piece of shit,
Correct.
and he's out of jail now.
He's not out.
Was he back in?
He is. No, he never made his bail because they would have to. He won his appeal. He has the right to a bail right now, but he is not out.
Mom and Daddy ain't paying him his bail money anymore.
So his daddy died here recently.
Okay.
Right.
Which is great. Don't get me wrong on that side of things because that doesn't give a place of this and that and the other to be able to fall on him.
Well, it stops
That's-
that
I
influence
don't
at the
feel-
level that we know.
I don't,
You know what I'm talking
I
about.
don't.
It stops that influence.
I feel bad about every death. I don't like death, things like that for people as after stuff like just such. I don't feel glad that the guy's gone for his family's sake because even the guy's sister. I talked to his sister, and we've talked about some really intimate stuff here and there, and I feel bad for the way she grew up with him even. You know what I mean? And it's hard for all these people and for her to hurt because her father died. You know, I feel bad for that.
of course, that's just being a human being.
Right, yes. But at the same time, this man sat and glared at me. This man sat and tried to act like his son did nothing to me and things like that. So I have animosity, but at the same time, like your death is not something that I'm going to celebrate either. You know what I mean?
but-
I'm not going to do that.
Can we just talk about the level of empathy you got to have as a person to be able to do that for the person that killed your son?
That's a lot.
That's a,
So, and then don't get me wrong, that's learned also.
That's
learned
that's a
also.
different level,
That's over time.
I don't know that I could do that. I prayed for the kid last night that shot Charlie Kirk, and I prayed for his parents.
So
because I feel for the parents.
Let's say this. I'm praying for kindness on all those things right
Yes.
now. I'm praying for myself to be kind on all those things. And I even said that. I was like, right now, the people that are saying those things, I have nothing nice to say, so I'm trying to pray for kindness.
Yeah. What? So your son is killed by this man, a 3-year-old boy,
Yeah.
and then
He was 2. I have a 3-year-old now though.
Yeah.
But he was 2.
He was 2.
He was a giant child though. He was a big boy. He's as
wasn't
big
far away.
as my 3-year-old is now.
And this guy killed him, and this guy basically got capital murder trials because it's a child, correct? And then he got appealed because someone put the wrong phone number on the search warrant. Is that right, or am I wrong on this?
Past the search warrant was terribly written.
Okay, and
It
so,
was. And don't get me wrong, it's one of those to where it was 11 days later on this one that they're talking about, the things that they got, the like the mini Mac and things like that. The mini Mac is the big part of it right there. The mini Mac had him abusing my son where he had kept it as a trophy.
What a
Things
piece
like
of
that
shit.
on it.
What's a
And-
mini?
The computer.
Like a computer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like this big. It's just a Mac computer,
Yeah.
but they're real
Okay.
small.
And he had saved the
images.
the video that he put and everything. It had been downloaded onto it. So when they confiscated it, they found it on it. I was told I never need to watch that video. I was told you never need to see that. My uncle, who was there, is a very level-headed person, and he said he had so much trouble to just
you don't.
to just view that because he knew he needed to see it,
Right.
to see what was going on because we wanted to know the things that were happening and stuff like that. But he said you never need to see that. He goes, you'll never in your life need to see that. But at the same time, too, though, whenever I did get to see the crime scene photos and things like that, I wanted to see my son's face.
Right.
So I've seen his recently deceased face with the blood still stained on it and things like that. You know, like his. Excuse me for a second, but
No,
at the
you're
same
good.
time, like I'll get it out. His lips were blue. You know, I'm sure you've seen the bodies, things like that that go on how just when they get cold as such. But the thing that I remembered was I was like, God, he's so pretty still. He was beautiful. He was a beautiful child, and it'll take me a second, but
You're
I'll get
good.
it. Like I say, the things that you see like that, and to know just like the things that come on. I'm gonna have to stop and like I'm good. Y'all can keep going, but at the same time, I'll just like right there for a second. I'm gonna need a second, but at the same time, we'll keep going.
Well, you know what, man? You know the thing about us being older about and knowing and thinking about this situation is it sucks, man. But that's kind of warrior training in a way. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of what you got to go through to be kind of who we want to be in life, you know. And it sucks like a motherfucker because you got to put up with some shit in your life that you look back and you go, man, why the fuck? But it made you who you are now. You know?
And it's
that's why I think it's important that he share that.
Yeah,
that he needs that is invaluable life knowledge for young kids and kids like your and kids that look up to him and us or whatever for those reasons. They don't know how you. They think that you can just wake up and you're like that. They don't understand the lessons that have to come to get like that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and like, you know, just like seeing the final photos in one way, like it's got to be the hardest thing in the world to see your baby boy like that. But in another way, it's got to take a big weight off of your shoulders because your imagination has it worse in your own head.
Okay, I can give you imagination here, though. Okay, so you hear these things. You don't know what the inside of the house looks like. I don't know anything. I'm trying to ask questions. They can't tell me. They won't tell me. You know what I mean? And to start with, for the first week, I thought it was some accident still. They're like, oh, but we just have to use it as a murder investigation.
I remember your Facebook when you were coming home from San Antonio.
Man. Listen,
that was
we're
terrible.
We're not really buddies with the police, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there was not
No
like
track record, no
rushing
track
over there
record
trying
there.
to help, right? Yeah.
It's not like Jeff Stanfield's getting arrested for the first time. or
But-
problem.
But like you were saying, imagination
They might
goes
have
crazy
three
at that
stops
point.
on the way to my house. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So my thoughts was I literally went to like, you know, you look at old medieval dungeons. I thought my son died in some medieval dungeon in my house. Like dead serious. Like he was in there being tortured in this house. And the thoughts of me in my head was, where do people get tortured? Dungeons. You know what I mean? What happens when you're killed like this and everything? You're somewhere dark and gloomy and everything like that. When I finally went to that house, whenever I was protecting James Staley's mother from him. Yeah, you remember that? That's crazy. That's a whole story in itself too.
Wild.
So I'm there and I was like, can I see the room? So I walk in and she kind of shows me where things were and tells me how they were because there's a bed in there now and it's a bright, pretty room. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking at it and I'm like,
Right. This is not how I had it. in my
right.
head.
I'm like, my son got killed in here in this bright, pretty room. And I mean, it's gorgeous. It's a nice house, everything like that. And I'm like,
Country club, you know.
a murder went on right here of my child, you know, and I'm kind of, and it's really,
It's almost an out of body.
it was
You know what I mean?
out
Like-
of body all together. Everything was just like, this is not real. This is not what I had imagined. This can't be it. Right.
Right.
And that's what it was. Like I say, because until that day, I had literally, it was a dungeon. I dreamed of dungeons. I've dreamed so many nights of killing that man, so many different ways. And I remember watching Game of Thrones. Everybody watch Game of Thrones,
yeah.
right? You remember when they cut off Miss Andy's head and she falls off?
Yeah.
I had a dream that night, and it lasted forever. I had it every night for a long time after that. But I had a dream that I had to watch him as Jon Snow and Daenerys down there. I was standing there watching him kill my son up on top of there, and there's nothing I can do about it.
Fuck.
And I would sit there and watch that for so long. And then I would run up the stairs. And because he threw him down too. In my dream, he threw him down. And I'd run up the stairs and I would beat him to death. I'd kill him. I'd do just any different way I could beat you to death and just maim your body. I was doing it differently. And I remember doing that and just standing over him and screaming, you know, and just that whole war cry of, you know what I mean? Like everything. And I'd run down because then I got to go to my son, right? But every time I'd pick him up, I'd be waking up, convulsing, crying, and everything like that. You know what I mean? There's like bawling,
Yeah.
you know, and it's just like, what can you do? Go to sleep again. 5 minutes later, boom, I'm up again.
Same thing.
It was terrible for a while.
That level though, man, and I wouldn't wish that ever, you know. But that level of anguish and stuff is what caused you to do jumping jacks in front of the police department. And, you know what I'm saying? They would let it go, dog. They would have let it go, man.
Yeah, they would've.
If you wouldn't have done that, man, they would have let that shit go.
What'd you do?
So
Bro, they were going to gloss it over.
They were trying to put it under the rug for a long time.
Yeah.
For a long time, they tried to sweep it under the rug. I did a lot of different little protests and things like that, but the ones that like people stick out in their minds are like the one that I did. I was training. I was down there training at a downtown gym, and I was just sitting there, and the police department's about 3/4 of a mile away, and I have to drive by it.
Okay, listen now. Let me set the scene a little bit too, though, because I'm telling you, man, we weren't good people. We weren't good people, right? I mean, this dude was gonna die, right? You know what I'm saying? But so they know that the police do, right? They're not fucking with him; they're fucking with us,
Right.
you know.
Right.
And that even makes it worse. You know what I mean? Like, come on, dude,
Yeah.
you
Go do your job somewhere
right,
else.
man.
Right.
Right. And that's and so we're already at that level, right? Like y'all motherfuckers do anything, you're gone for life. Leave him alone.
They straight told me they were waiting. There was different ones. They'd come and tell me, they'd be like, "Hey man, we sorry. We know you're gonna handle this situation, but just know that we got to come do our job when you do." These are conversations
They
that I
figured
had.
you was going to kill him.
They knew I was going to kill him.
That dude
and
was
it's
there.
Like it's like I tell people too, though. We want to talk about the walk of God and everything like that again. We want to go there.
I'm telling
Like
you.
that's
We've been it.
somebody made me not do things a couple of different times when I had the options and the opportunities.
That dude was as good as dead, though.
And I mean, I had a couple opportunities and
You did the right thing.
the right
the right
thing.
thing.
Let's say the right thing now.
You're
Yes.
still here. You'd be
Right.
So what went through your head at those moments? Like, how did you talk yourself out of doing
Let's
these
say
things?
this. One time it was another guy that goes, if we kill him, I got to kill the kid. And I'm not killing the kid because he had a kid with him.
Right.
He goes, I'm not him. You're not him.
Right. No.
And I'm like, yeah.
What? So you said a minute ago you had to protect his mom from him,
He said he was going to send some goons after his own mother.
huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was sending some goons after his own mother.
Was she cut him off?
Was she going to testify against
She
them?
was,
No, she was just starting to get friendly with us.
I gotcha.
she was working the other side, though. So.
So-
But the deal was, she was on the side right. She was on the side. She wasn't doing nothing wrong. She knew.
Here's what I'm going to say. Here's what I'm going to say.
We all love our kids.
She knew he was a scumbag.
And but sometimes the reality is your kid, something happens.
Yeah, yeah.
So, anyways, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's what I was gonna say. For her, me and her never didn't get along. She saw me and she was kind of freaked out by me because the threats and everything else that I had made. Like I say, at one point I got arrested for threatening him publicly, and sorry, I'm burping a little bit. Trying not to burp into
Do
the
it
mic.
right in the microphone.
But listen, man, he was doing, Bubba was
So-
doing like jumping jacks in front of the police department, like when he was working out,
Yeah.
right? And then fucking talking shit, yelling out loud, videoing it the whole time, right? And this shit was on
Yeah.
TikTok, and we
I
fucking.
lived it.
It went
So
off.
I left the boxing gym,
But that's
and
what got
I
us
drove
going.
by and just having a bad day, and I thought my workout's not over, so I pulled over, popped my truck up, started filming a live on Facebook, standing outside of there because they watch my Facebook.
Oh yeah,
It was insane what they could tell me details as I walked in about how they like memorized it, my Facebook posts and stuff like that, and they would watch my lives and everything like that. And I'm standing out there and I'm jump roping. Had a buddy come up that was with me that was training with me a little bit ago. He's like, "You want to hit some pads?" I'm like, "Yep." So I hit pads outside of the police department, yelling, screaming.
Yeah.
Not really like trying to be full on derogatory, but saying do your damn job.
Trying to instigate a little bit, man. Get
do your
something.
damn job.
Yeah,
I was
instigate,
like,
man.
Some of them police officers had to be sympathetic. I mean,
there are
they
a
had-
few.
they
There are a
had
few.
kids.
That's another thing I tell people
There's
too,
some
though,
good
that
ones.
I'm
There's
not.
some good ones, man. There
I am
really
not
is.
completely against
No.
the police. I'm not like, and here's the crazy part is beforehand, even being, as you say, the outlaw persona as such and stuff, I still didn't wish bad upon the police. Like, you watch the videos where they're
Respect your
doing
enemy.
stuff and they're getting hell. I'm like, that's kind of garbage. You could
There's
have
some
done
mutual
this.
respect.
You know what I
If
If
mean?
you're driving home tonight and a cop's in a fight with some guy, you're going to stop and help that cop.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
There's some mutual
Probably.
respect.
You know what I
It's-
mean? I'm gonna figure out what's happening. You know what I mean? Like, and that's the thing too. That's just somebody that's we're in the paint.
Right.
That's us being in the paint. Like, we're gonna figure out what the paint's about.
But we didn't lose our humanity in the
You know what I
action,
mean? Well, that's what I
man.
mean. Like there is like we're gonna get out there. Somebody's in there, something like that. Something's going on. Yeah, we'll help you out. But at the same time, like, what happened?
So
you know
these-
what I mean?
so these
I want
two-
to find out what happened.
We try very
Talk
hard
to
to
me.
stay on this side. We talked about this here a lot, man. You stay on. You know how you don't ever lose a fight is you stay on the side of right.
Yeah.
That's how you win, though.
Yeah.
You stay in this when you're on the side of right, and it's like he's talking. Find out what's going on, man. If the cop's in the right, then we're gonna help the cop.
So when these two goons, did they ever approach her?
No, they didn't ever make it there. They didn't ever make it there. So, but at the same time, I sat outside in a truck that was I was working at a tent place, and at that time they tinted my windows real dark for me in a brand new truck, and I had many a weapon with me. And purposely, anybody else who came there, because she was having stuff moved. The movers I knew the movers that were there, and I was watching every angle and everything. Actually had some cocksucker, and I'm gonna say that about him because it come up while I'm sitting there, kind of holding guard, and he's trying to just walk up to the yard, and I just walked over and was like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "Well, I'm going to talk to her," and I was like, "No, you're not until I tell you can." And he went in there basically telling her that he needs to leave. He doesn't need to sit here while this is going on, and she's paying me to be there, by the way, because she tried to pay police officers in town to be there, and they ended up declining her. So I went and did it.
Can you
That's
imagine
a
the
weird
police,
dynamics
the police
right there.
telling you that your own kid's not a psycho?
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
That's nuts.
But
So
go ahead.
You were there protecting her. Her son kills your son, and then she's paying you to protect her from her son.
From her
Correct.
son. And the cops still don't fucking believe her.
That's crazy. So did they take all the did that family finally exhaust him of any financial help?
So I don't know, honestly, because he was indigent.
Yeah, I saw that
When he went to prison.
That they had
How did you hire the Netflix lawyer after that?
Right.
How did you hire the Netflix lawyer after that? How did you get this going on? How did all that come about? How did you get more money? Don't get me wrong. I understand mineral rights, things like that, for an old oil money, things like that. But at the same time, like, how do you get to claim you're indigent when people are still shoving money at you?
That is crazy, ain't it?
You know what I mean? And then at that, what kind of cocksucker is still shoving money at you? Right. And don't get me wrong. Like I say, when I become a little more comfortable, I become more pirate. By the way. So, you know what I mean?
Hey, well, listen, man.
I'm surprised I don't have a patch on my eye. You know what I mean?
What judge in Wichita County don't know that he's not indigent? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There's no fucking way, man. They know this. They know that family.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, dude. They're like old school oil. They're one of the founding families of the town. Right.
Yeah.
So they
Really?
know.
Yeah, they were trying to let him get away with it.
See, that's the thing that's where Jeff's good about Wichita because he's from Wichita Falls. I didn't grow up there, so I don't know the inner workings of it.
Well, they're like one of the founding families actually of the town. You know, so them judges they knew he's not indigent.
Not indigent.
Right? But he got that so that he gets that afforded that the state stuff for the lawyer and all that. You know, gets to file his case didn't get reviewed the right way because it wasn't a paid lawyer. It was an indigent lawyer, right? You know, that kind of shit. You know.
So how long did the trial go on? Or so you said they went like 11 days. They thought it was still an accident. When did they finally come to you and say,
well, no, they knew it was a murder, but they played it off to me as it was an accident.
That it was an accident.
They did not want me to know. Here's the bad part too, though, is my family and my friends and everybody else figured it out and nobody told me. So you want to talk about trust issues? And I tell people all the time, my trust issues are fucked these days. And I'll sit and talk to somebody and everything like that. And you could tell me this and this and this till you're blue in the face. And I'll be like, yeah. I'm like, what the fuck is really going on? You know what I mean? Like, and that's just, I can't not do that now.
Yeah.
And you'll see me and I'll still go with things and stuff like that because that's normal. That's normal to do. You're supposed to be a normal human, things like that. But in my head, I'm like, yeah, right. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of that. And it sucks to be that way now because my mother is one of them. I do that too.
Yeah.
My mother loves
you though.
My mother loves, and that's what I was going to say. My mother loves me so much. My mother is the person that loved me more than anybody and will always love me more than anybody. You know what I mean? Like,
You're talking about his parents or the cops?
No, I'm talking about my mama right now.
His family,
okay.
his family was protecting
you
by not telling you
Absolutely.
because I didn't know you. I've known you, but I would have known, and I would have bet money when all this shit happened that fucker will never make it to prison. Is what I probably told people that, and so. I think your family was
they were.
They didn't want you to be locked up because then they lose their grandson and then they lose you.
Right.
That's exactly what they said too. My mother's same way, but at the same time, my mom, since I was little, has been one of those like, if you're getting in trouble, I'm not telling you. If you're gonna go hit somebody over it, or you think you're gonna go cause some trouble over it, I'm not telling you.
She's trying to keep you from getting in trouble,
and that's what she does. But at the same time, like I told her, I said, "How dare you?" And I told everybody, though, I've done it to everybody. How dare you think that you have more right to know knowledge and have knowledge of my son than I did?
That's a good point.
How dare every one of you?
Right.
And it was real hard to to look at people in the face that I love so deeply, and I thought that these are my people that I would have put my life on the line for, and you're sitting there bold-faced lying to me while I'm in the deepest hole I've ever been in my life.
Mm-hmm. And it's that same mentality, bro, that because they tell you that, and then they say, well, we know how you would react, and then I'm like, well, that's the same fucking reason I didn't tell you I became a drug addict.
Well, and the same.
That
Here's
wasn't cool
what I'm
then,
gonna say
was
too,
it?
though. What right is it of yours to tell me
Well, what the
how you
fuck,
want me to
dog,
react, though? You know what I mean?
You see what I'm saying? That's stupid. You can't fucking do that. You owe him being a man to him, man.
Yeah.
The analogy is just that's a perfect analogy. I just never heard it put that way, but it's really good.
I mean, it is literally the same thing, dude. And then they're making a judgment call on that, and you can't do that, man. You can't do that.
What a story. See, that's it's just what a violent, crazy world. They're gonna make a movie about this one day.
So I hope so.
They're going to.
And
But
here's one thing
it'll be
too,
long.
though. No,
You'll
I'm
be
dead
gone,
serious.
so the money will go somewhere else.
Dead serious. I do not care to make $1 off of it. I told people that all the time and everything like that. I want it to just be to where it's one of those things where you can't not think about my son and not think
never
about his
forget about
killer and think Casey Anthony. And I took that from a girl that was helping me be a publicist. She was a publicist helping me. She said, I want him to be Casey Anthony. I'm like, oh, that's so good. I was like, yes. Let's make him Casey Anthony, please. Because who doesn't know what Casey Anthony did?
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, we don't want to forget
I
about
want everybody to know your dick sucking face right there is the one that did it, and you did this to my beautiful son.
Killed a fucking 2-year-old kid.
How long was he abusing him? Did we ever figure out?
So she had only met him from the day that she met him to the day that he killed our son was only like 2.5, 3 months.
Oh, really? Wow.
Shocking. And then here's the thing too, though, is don't get me wrong. Here's where I make her bail a little bit. And this is what I always do. And this, not a lot of people agree with it and everything like this, but this is me. This is where I was, and this is what it was. Okay. I come into a situation where everything that's connected to my son at that point lives in her. I'm thinking about going over there, and I'm like, the only living part of this world that's even left of him is her. So I'm loving on her, things like that. She's lying to me too at the same time. You know what I mean? Nobody's telling me that my son was murdered. She figured it out too when they asked her about what's the blood on the pillow in the crib for, whenever they started questioning her. So she knew. Everybody else knew. They've all figured it out, things like that. But at the same time, I start reading messages with her and things like that. She's like, he said this, he said that, and I should have known. And she's like, I should have did this, and I should have done that. And I'm going, well, why didn't you?
Yeah, what was
Right?
that?
I'm like, well, why didn't you? What the fuck? I wouldn't have let nobody say this shit to our son. Like, the fuck are you talking about? And there's another message where she even told him, she goes, I could tell his dad what you said right now, and you'd be a dead motherfucker.
Yeah.
And he goes, I don't care about him. He goes, and the police are on my side anyway.
Oh.
He says, I got guns too.
Yeah, I got guns too.
Was this after the murder?
Okay,
No, this is all before.
Before the murder.
This is before, like when the abuse was
Okay,
when the stuff
I
was
got you
happening.
there.
But she doesn't know he's abusing him.
Right.
She just has him sending messages of like he tell him he's like, oh, you got a little faggot son over there, and you know what I mean, just like, oh, that little faggot needs to be cold. You know what I mean, just shit like that. Like, and then at that he goes, yeah, him and his fucking dad. You know, like he said to her that we literally should have been cold, and that's the thing that makes me go, the fuck. Well, the next day, he's, oh, I'm so sorry. I took my medication. I knew I shouldn't have said that after that. You know, like after that, I'm so sorry, this, that, and the other. He's one of those guys that can always buy his way out of something, talk his way out of something. And even in there.
Only to a gold digger.
Right. Well, okay.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Dog.
But at the same time,
Hey,
here's what I'm going to say too, though. How many people do we know that went that route with him, though, too?
Oh, fuck.
We know hundreds
Literally.
of females that went through this with him.
They had a whole crew, dog. I know a whole, we had a.
Yeah.
I knew who,
You get what I'm saying? And I'm like, yeah.
But listen.
I hate it, but at the same time, she's got messages too where he's saying all this, and then he's taking her out and loving it up, and you know, the cycle of abuse.
Right. Right.
You learn about the cycle of abuse
Right.
with people and things like that, and you're like, damn, this dude's got it down to an art.
Right.
And then he'll even tell you like what was his job, because he went out and they were like, well, what's your job? He goes, I'm a master manipulator. He goes, I manipulate people into giving me their money.
For plenty of money, yeah.
It's exactly what he said. And I read that and I was like,
Okay.
this dude's a piece of shit. You know what I mean?
He's never had to work his whole life.
No, well,
Right.
his work is
Hey,
work.
that fool was born on third and thought he hit a triple. You know what I'm saying?
He is. Yes.
Yeah. So he worked. But at the same time, like, then you got people that are sitting around and they're like, and I remember him from high school, things like that.
They're
Like, I went to
pumping
high
that fool
school.
up, yeah.
I remember just like him being the cocky guy that just ran around, did what he wanted to, things like that. Didn't really care. Right. Well, when she got with him, I'm like, you got with the rich kid? Like, the hell?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, the hell? So, but it's like I say too, though, is the cycle of abuse that came in. So I'm like, okay, I can see how he could turn that around and make you think, oh, you're just being crazy. You know what I mean? Oh, you're just being crazy. I'd never do that. I just didn't take my meds. I didn't do this, that, and the other. He's got so many things he's said to people for so many years. He's got them lined up still.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's got lined up excuses for years.
Man, they all abusers have a play, basically. You know what I mean? They have that rule book that they go by. They all do the same shit like that. It is just literally that same kind of shit like that.
Yeah. So I read these things and all that, and I knew it. So I was like, damn, I might have come back to him for that. You know what I mean? Like, even me, I'm like, oh, damn. You know what I mean? Like, but at the same time, in all seriousness, like, this dude was plotting. And nobody really got a hold of it because he had her thinking, oh, that's just crazy. I wouldn't do that. Oh, this and that and the other. I wouldn't do that. You know, like, shit, I'm just going, you know. And here's where I go into that. She is used to that type of behavior because of me. It sucks, but I'm not the nicest guy when we were in a relationship earlier. I was in a bike club. I went out at 4 a.m. when I got calls. You know what I mean? I did what I wanted to do.
Stop.
But
Come
you get
on,
what I'm
man.
saying. But you get what I'm saying too, though, is she is used to this type of person.
I don't think you can blame yourself for this.
No, man, come
But
on,
what
dude.
I'm saying is
We've done
in
the-
her defense, this is me making her bail, not mine. In her defense, she's used to a person like this who comes home, still takes care, still provides, things like that, would not hurt the children, things like that. You know what I mean? You're used to a person as such. Then you go over a year single because nobody wants to fuck with Bubba McDaniel's baby mama. Nobody's trying to get with you. If they're going to get with you, it's going to be for that night and you need to go home.
Yeah, but you
You
didn't
know what I
teach
mean?
her. You didn't. You wasn't abusive at that level like that, bro.
Not at that level, but at the same time, it's still
we duct
considered
taped people
as
with their
such.
no clothes on and dumped them off in ditches, dog. For real, okay?
I
We
know.
done bad shit, here, you know what I'm saying? We done bad
You know
shit,
what's-
bro.
you know
But
what's
we didn't
bad?
we didn't fucking hit no kids, man.
Yeah.
There was a limit to what we did.
Hey,
bro.
don't,
You know that too.
And
yeah.
here's the funny
The
part too.
statute of limitations. Don't put
I
yourself
know
in
what
the
I'm saying,
bind.
man. You
There
don't fuck
is-
with kids, dog.
Hey,
No, I
but-
know. No, I agree.
You're absolutely on track. We'll go back into this laugh again here in a second, but you're on track.
Duct tape, no
the
clothes
tr-
in a ditch.
Hey,
It's happened, dog.
And here's what I'm gonna tell you,
I
too,
said,
though,
was
is-
his truck rolling? It wasn't rolling fast.
that's what I was trying to tell him too. On the way over here, we were talking about things that our kids find out, and I was like, my son was like, "Did you do that?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well," and he's like. He was talking about, well, where'd you do it? He's like, was the truck rolling? I was like, well, not fast.
So had James ever abused another child?
So that's the crazy part too, though, is we don't
His
know.
mom's scared of him.
We don't know if he
Yeah, but
abused other
but
children.
he abused his mom, probably.
At that time.
Just
Now
saying.
there was a
Gotta
guy,
be some
there was a
history there
girl
somewhere.
that he got with that was in Oklahoma. There was another guy up there that his kids had to be around him, and the kid's dad. He is one of those, like, at the point now where I'm sure he doesn't want to hear anything about his family or anything like that. But he had told me some things that had been going on that was just weird that James had done. So the behavior there, I'm like, yeah, this is
it's
just
pattern.
what you do.
It's a pattern, man.
This is just what you do.
Yep.
So like I say, I'm not going to talk about the guy's family up there or his kids or anything like that as such, but it was done after even.
Right.
And it was just kind of like, ugh. Like, I mean, literally like disgust face stuff.
So
You know what I mean?
So he's locked up still because he can't make bail.
Correct. He has the right to file for a bail now.
Yeah.
He has the right for
Why
it.
has he not? I wonder.
I'm assuming because nobody wants to put up another. I
million.
think it's going to be probably 1.5 again.
$1.5 million.
Yeah, something like that is what it was last time. I'm pretty sure
Now,
it'll
he
be
had
that
to-
again.
When he went as indigent, but he didn't go with a public defender. He still had a defender, so that's not public.
That's what I was saying.
not
Netflix
indigent.
lawyer came back in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he had the
wild,
he had
ain't
the
it?
public
Yeah.
defender for the couple
so
of days
wild.
after.
And you can't say the judges didn't know that in Wichita County. Bro.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
But at the same time, here we are. This is where we're at. The dude won his appeal because of some garbage ass warrants that were written. And don't get me wrong, they are. If you look at them as such, you know what it's for. You know it's sufficient enough. But if you want to get shitty detailed like big lawyers do and things like that, you can find a hole.
Well, if you're gonna put a man in prison for life, then you need to make sure the fucking warrant's written up the right way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, so where's he?
We're not talking about going after somebody for fucking
They should
traffic
put his
ticket
ass to
here.
sleep. Is what they should
Well,
do.
here's the thing.
And before they did that, they should have made sure the fucking warrant was written right. You know what I'm saying? Like a cop.
We had a lot of conversations about that too. We had a lot of conversations about, do we want him to die? Do we want him to live? Do we want these things? And do I feel like if I had the chance to kill him and you let me just sit in there and me and him fight live or die and I get to slowly do it all, like, oh yeah, I want you to die now. I want you to die now.
He's suffering sitting in that shell till he's 80 years old.
So, and that's where me and the family came into. Both sides of our families, her family, my family, we all sat and we talked about it, and everybody is really like, we want this dude dead. Don't get me wrong. But at the same time,
It's too easy.
what does the worst damage to him?
Sitting in there forever.
Correct. This man that got to do everything he wanted to do his whole life,
Silver
paid
spoon.
for pussy, paid for this, paid for that, did everything he wanted. He could pay for it all. If whatever he wanted to do, he could pay for it, go through it, get it done. What's
Anything.
the worst thing that could happen to him?
Freedom be gone.
Yeah.
Your freedom's gone.
Getting butt fucked.
Can't buy
Oh,
freedom.
he likes getting butt fucked up. That's the bad
Yeah, you
thing.
can't buy,
He
you
likes
can't buy
getting
freedom,
pegged.
man.
He likes getting pegged.
Dude, I'm dead serious. Here's another thing. Like, it came out when she told me, she's like, he had a vibrating dildo butt plug that he made me use on him. I'm like, oh, you did that? And I was like, you pegged him? Like, you full on pegged him? She's like, yeah, no. And she's probably gonna be mad when she sees this again because it's brought back up. But yeah, she pegged him. That's the A. And that's the A.
Not even
And
surprised.
his excuse is that's the only way he can actually get off.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Look
How
at
do you figure that out?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Hey, that's not experiment, dog. That's
Hey, but at the same time, like talking to his sister, he was an abused child also. That makes me feel bad for his sister as such to have this information as such. I don't feel bad for him about it anymore.
Well, see, they always ruin the laugh with that shit, right? You're laughing.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we
I'm
abused
sorry,
this
brother.
child.
It's like I say too, though. I have to throw that in there for his sister because I care about what his sister feels and things like that. But at the same time, him. Nah.
So when is the trial going to come back on?
As of right now, we are, from what I understand, we are a level above where the appeals court was, trying to get the appeal revoked. Trying to get the.
It's not fair for y'all to have to go
just
through this
seen
shit
something
again.
on it yesterday,
Right,
but I don't remember what
right.
to say.
That's
It
what
was
we're
just on the
try-
Channel 3 news page.
So don't get me wrong, too, though. Me being on probation, they kept me from the trial and everything like that. They I guess I understand, but I still dislike it. You know what I mean? So I didn't get to go to the trial. I didn't get to do any of that. I didn't get to see any of that.
So you didn't get to confront him in the court where you get to tell him what you think?
No, I had to send it via video to the girl who was my publicist at that time, Amanda Early. Sent it to her, and she stood up in front after she had revised it a little bit,
Yeah, I thought it was.
and she spoke it for me.
So he's in an appeals process. If it goes through the appeals, then y'all have got to go this whole court again. He's going to get convicted of murder again. So basically, he's just sitting in his prison waiting to go to prison again.
So the bad part is too, though, is it's the mini Mac and all the other extra stuff that comes off like that. To our side of things is one of those like, this is what was going on beforehand. If you think this didn't happen, and it's, in all honesty, it's supposed to be a tearjerker. It's supposed to be a, hey, this is your heartstring getting pulled right here. Here it is. Check this out. And this isn't even when he got murdered. You know what I mean? You're supposed to have that part, and they're trying to get that thrown out.
So he's gonna get locked up again. I'm shocked. I'm absolutely shocked. When I first heard and I saw people raising hell on Facebook about it, and they have every right to, and I do too. It's bullshit that he's got that they
Off a
misheard- technicality. I really figured that his ass was going to get out, get on a private jet somewhere with a suitcase full of $1 million and go somewhere, and you'd never see him again. And he wouldn't show up at the trial, and he'd be a fugitive for the rest of his life because that was his only chance for any more freedom, whether it was 1 day, 6 months,
You know
or
what, though?
15 years.
Which makes absolute sense.
You got to have courage to do that, man. He's a fucking coward, dude.
He's
a gutless coward.
But that's
is what
why I
he is.
figured he would run.
Yeah.
But they had the means.
He don't
at
even
the
got the
time
nuts to run.
to get it away. So I'm shocked he's still. I really thought he was out. I'm glad to hear that he hasn't gotten out. That's really surprising. But after what you told me about the vibrator stuff, he may be right there happy where he's at.
Man.
You know,
He ain't trying to run from nothing.
I mean, if
He's trying to run to something.
Hey, boy, hey.
I don't want to throw nothing up, but James, you've been to prison.
Yeah.
If you'd got locked up in a girl's prison, would it have been that bad?
Yeah.
He said, "Oh, it'd have been terrible."
But the entertainment would have been a lot better.
It's been a little bit different entertainment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I'm saying,
I mean,
though.
you know, eventually you're gonna get tired, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Fucking get the fuck out of here, though. That's the difference between a young man and an old man, though. You know what the difference is? Is a young man wants a lot of fucking women. Old men know they're fucking annoying. You know what I mean?
That's truth right there. I'm
just
telling
saying.
That young bull, old bull thing.
Yeah.
It don't work out so well
What
no
no,
more.
man?
He's like, I'm gonna get y'all one day. One day.
James has got a great story, and you've told it on here before, but you got locked up 2 times?
4 times.
4. Okay, we'll double that. 4 times. You're not going to go back a 5th time.
No, hell no.
And you're a good...
Not
on purpose, though.
Right.
But you're not going to go do something stupid that
Right.
you're not going to go steal or whatever,
Right.
drugs or something.
Right.
But what happened is, though, is young guys need to talk to people like you.
Yeah.
That's what gets me about the and I'm gonna get racial here for a minute. The black community.
Mm-hmm.
They need some of these they need black males to come and talk to these kids and tell them, listen, that standing on the street slinging whatever you're slinging, that might be good till you're 23 or 24. But how many old drug dealers do you know that are still 65
Right.
years old? They've never
Same
been to
shit,
jail.
man.
You don't.
But hold
I
on,
was just
James,
listening-
would you have listened to anybody?
I was just having this conversation with. Well, I say conversation. We've been going back and forth a little bit. Me and another black guy because I spoke on something that he said was you don't know nothing about the black community, whatever. You know, I said, man, my mom picked cotton and I helped her pick cottons up when I was a kid. Right there, she made minimum wage. We were dirt poor, lived in the projects and born in the avenues. What's up? Any questions? It's the same thing, though.
Yep.
Here's the thing. You know why I know that? Because I fucking failed too. I failed my people. I failed to do what I should have done and been a good leader to my son and my people that was looking up to me.
Right.
And then I took my stupid ass to prison for doing stupid ass shit. So when I got out, I made a change. I'm trying to make a difference now that But I know those things because I failed doing those things. So I can say, and it's not I don't even consider it racist saying, yeah, the black leadership has failed their black younger people
They
in
have.
their society. Yeah. You know why I know? Because white leadership did too.
Yep.
That's called. They don't have crack over there. They have methamphetamine.
Right, but
It's the same fucking thing.
Same animal, different deal.
Hey, here's you some. Here's you
Yeah.
some. And then they build a little thunderdome around your neighborhood. Don't let nobody out. And everybody who comes out gets arrested for drug possession and gun.
Yep.
Everybody who makes it through that.
30. You're not going to
Thunderdome
find.
is perfect
That's
too, though.
exactly what
You're
they do, though.
absolutely right. You walk in there, there ain't nothing happening
No,
to
they
you.
let
But
you
once
fucking-
you walk out,
They done drugs and dump guns in there, and then let everybody just fucking fight it out. And then whoever the winners, they just arrest them for drugs and possession.
What is your answer to prisons? Because we've got to. I don't think we should let people out that have done something bad. I think
either.
if you've committed a crime, you should pay the time. You know, whatever that saying is. If you do the crime,
here's where I
you
draw
should do
the
time.
line on that.
But we got people. A guy told me this yesterday. He said during COVID he worked at a prison, and I think you were in the room. He said this. He said when he works at a prison. He said during COVID we were letting these people out that were habitual doing bad things, rape, all kinds of shit. And he said, then you got to go over there. Got caught selling weed in 1977, and he's got a 60-year sentence, and he don't get out.
Still sitting in there.
Yeah, and he said that's stupid. I used to be anti-marijuana. I used to think goddamn stoners, blah 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 blah. As I've gotten older, I don't have a problem with people smoking marijuana. I think it's something that it's better than alcohol. As a judge,
absolutely,
I
yeah.
never dealt with a guy that was on marijuana that was violent about anything. But boy, I've dealt with some real assholes that were drunk, and I think that they need to fix there's some problems there. There's no doubt about
absolutely.
it. But if you rape somebody or hurt somebody or you steal something, stuff, I got no problem with you going. But I don't think I think we got too many people going to prison that are like the guy that murdered that girl 14 times. How much is enough before
Come
we
on,
lock you up
man. That's
forever?
getting ridiculous.
Here's the big one on me is all the pedophilia and everything
Right.
like that. Like the KYLP, when people say that, I'm like,
Listen, man.
What's
KY
that? What's that?
Kill
your local pedophile.
Okay, yeah.
Got
a guy.
you got KYLCP, kill your local child predator.
yeah.
Yeah.
Period. I am
Any
You want
to
to say that should be something? I'm like, oh yeah,
absolutely.
that should be public.
Yeah.
Anytime there's a victim to me, man, like I sold drugs, man. You know what I mean? And I sold drugs to other adults. I'm not condoning what I did. I'm not rationalizing, justifying none of that shit.
They were adults, though.
Right. But the thing is that it's more of a victimless crime, in a way. You know what I'm saying? But overall, I get the big picture of there being a society is the victim when it comes to that. I understand. I'm not saying that, but. That's where I draw the line as far as letting people out of prison, man. If you got a victim, if there's a victim involved in your crime while you're locked up for it, then you need to stay the fuck locked up. Because I never intentionally hurt other people on purpose like that. Not in those scenarios. Right?
You'd hurt Smith, they're going to hurt you. But you weren't just, you weren't just a rant. Right. I've always said this before, biker gangs. Let me use them as an example.
Innocence away from them.
I've never known a biker gang ever to hurt someone that was innocent.
Not on
ever.
Purpose. Right.
No, not on purpose. They don't go around jacking with people. If you don't mess with them, if you're on the side of the road broke down and a biker gang pulls up, they're going to help you. They're not there to try to hurt you and all that shit. They're not going to do that.
Let's say this: the bike community is a very big supporter of all kind of things. Have you ever seen events that they do, charity events and all that?
Yeah,
tons of charity events. When I was
advocates?
club oriented and everything like that, we did more charity events than anything else that we did. Anything else we did. Don't get me wrong. You're still in a club.
I'm talking about directly helping your community, not fucking federal tax shit. I'm talking about directly helping the people around you. That's
I promise you right now, if Donald J. Trump was having problems, a bunch of bikers pull up, everybody's gonna get the fuck out of the way because they know they're there to protect you.
That's right. Square business.
And that's right. And so, but we've got a real problem in our country with crime right now. And it's because of this cashless bail bullshit. Right. If you do something bad, you should have to pay sometimes. And I'm talking to two guys.
I remember hearing that right off the bat, and I was like, "What?" Yeah. I was like, "Everything." I was like, "Everybody gets out."
The PR bond.
I was like, "You're kidding me." I was
if you go to Los Angeles right now and you steal something at $745, they don't even put you in a cop car.
You want to know
now,
my bond was?
If you steal it for $755, they might arrest you or whatever it is. I think $750 is their deal. What was your bond?
$300,000.
Ooh, for selling that methamphetamines?
Selling methamphetamines.
How much did you have on you?
56 grams.
What? Tell me what that means. Like, is that like a football size?
A lot. A couple ounces.
Okay, still help me out here now a little bit.
That's
give them a Zins on top of each other.
No, it's more like
like a shotgun shell box. It'd be 56 grams. How much money would that have made? How much was 56 grams worth streetwise?
Man, about $6,000.
That's it. $6,000 worth of drugs.
Probably give or take.
What's the profit margin on methamphetamines? Pretty good or low?
Depends on if you're cooking.
Mind you, we're talking years ago too.
Well, I'm asking. I like to know
inflation has
this.
happened.
If you're making it, I don't know, man. Back in the day, what it used to be was, was quite a bit because the materials and shit you could buy at the convenience store, right? You could just go down to fucking Crystal Mart and get whatever you needed.
Crystal Mart, I remember that place.
Right. And you just get your Max Brand 60s, and you had your anhydrous connection. If you were cooking it at that level, then there's a lot of profit margin, right? It's not like that now because all that stuff is government regulated.
Now, you know why I'm asking you this? Because most of the squareheads like me that are listening to this has never, ever done this other than watching Breaking Bad. And it's interesting. No, why do the people think Breaking Bad was a big hit? Because people like me, we ain't going to fucking live that life.
Fascinated by it.
We are. I'm absolutely all that shit. Boys in the Hood.
There's some things.
All them shows. Because people like us are fascinated because it's not normal to us.
Right. That's what we're talking about. That's what I mean. That's what I mean when we the reason we click like we do is because the things that are normal to us aren't fucking normal to normal people, right? And I didn't. I'm telling you, I really did not realize that until I really.
The best thing was
I sat down.
Wasn't going real fast.
Well, here's the thing too, though. Is like our resolve for things.
Yeah.
I've told people too, though. My resolve for things is, and I've got another buddy who when he said it the first time, I was like, that's exactly how to say it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I was
right.
like, that's exactly right. Because our resolve for issues and the way things are is different from the normal people.
Right.
Like people hear us talk about, well, we should do this, should do that. You got to go do this now. They're like, the fuck you mean you got to go do that? And I'm like, why? What's wrong?
If I come over to the house and had a drink with y'all, I'd be so boring. Be like, Jeff, what'd you do today? Nothing fucking like y'all have.
Well, here's the thing too, though. Life is boring now. Life is good.
It's good. It's
We were
good.
talking about this on the way too, though. It's like
Yeah, I
we
wanna be
talked
bored.
about how boring everything is right
Well,
now.
fuck yeah, James Landscape and Tanglewood over there.
You get what I'm saying? And I told him, we were talking about it. When we leave here, we're like, yeah, we go back to the house. You got to check it out. I'm like, absolutely. You know, like, I want to see your yard,
We're gonna
bro.
go sit on the patio and have a glass of scotch.
That's
you know what I'm
right.
saying?
Yeah.
But you've learned. I mean, but people are fascinated by that. I've always said before, if you want to find an interesting old man, you got to have one that done a bunch of stupid shit when they were young.
Right,
They got
that's how you
to
get
tell.
stories.
Fucking old guys, they ain't no fun. Andy, I love Andy to death, but Andy ain't got no fucking stories to tell. None.
Boring as hell.
Because I at least had some shit I got. He never been in no kind of nothing ever. But that's the and so people are fascinated
Well, let me
by
tell
that.
you the other
Let me
side.
tell you about
Let me
this,
tell you
too,
the other
though.
side. Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me get you what the other side of that coin is, man. I remember being in a TDC, man, and I forget what yard. I think I was at Ellis unit, and I was on a crew that we did maintenance, right? All the white dudes are always on the maintenance crew, right? That's the boss's crew and all that shit. So, and everybody's kind of getting to know each other, whatever. And there was a dude that was riding around with it. He's kind of weird. You can tell he's a little weird. You know what I'm saying? And he's a white dude though, so you got to kind of figure out this dude. You got to figure out this dude can fight, or we're gonna be. Is he an asset? Whatever. You know what I'm saying? So you're trying to figure him out. And I'm talking to him about a story, and this fool tells me a story about. I was like, "What are you here for, man? You know, because you don't want to be protecting no pedophiles, right? I don't get down like that." So I'm like, "What are you in here for, man?" And he's like, "I'm in here for arson." Arson. Okay. Well, what'd you do? So this fool went out with these girls. And then they went back to an apartment, and then they needed more beer, right? So they sent him to get more beer. When he comes back, they don't open the door, right? So he gets mad. He stacks some fucking mattresses up outside the door and lights them on fire and burns the goddamn complex down and kills fucking people, right?
Wow.
Shit.
They don't catch him, right? So he's telling us this, and he's like, and I said, well, he said I went and got some gasoline and fucking dumped it on those mattresses and set it on fire and ran off. And I said, well, what did you do after that? He's like, he ran across the street and watched. He's like,
Jesus.
and here's how he talked. He's like, I had them hoes running everywhere talking about the fire department and shit. You know what I mean? And he's just talking like it's like that, And then of course everybody's starting to kind of chuckle and laugh. So he's getting a little looser. And he goes, and they so that's what got you 50 years. And he goes, no, they didn't even catch me on that one until after the fact. And he said, after the fact, and he said, no, man. After that, I went back home to my grandma's house where I lived, and I burnt my grandma's house down and killed my fucking grandma and grandpa.
Jesus.
That fucking night, and then and he said, and then ran off, and they caught me at the casino over in Las Vegas. Well, man, I'm sitting there like this, I was kind of chuckling a little, then I'm just sitting there looking at him, thinking, I'm like,
Don't give that motherfucker a ladder
what
around
the
me.
fuck, dude? I'm fixing to. I mean, I got to get away from this dude, right? I'm like, what am I doing, dude?
Right.
Did you have to hang out
That
with
was
this
one
guy?
of my defining moments in prison, to be honest with you, because he was so fucking nonchalant about that, bro. It blew me away.
Didn't even bother him.
Not one fucking bit, Jeff. Like, he was just like going to the store or something. Like, and he just told that story, and I'm not.
Motherfucker
Yeah.
should have been in a mental institute.
Oh my God. I'm locked up with this fool.
How did he get? You were locked up in the same cell?
We're
with
in the
him?
prison. We're in the same
I mean,
dorm.
like
We're
Rorschach, you are locked up with y'all.
in
Y'all are
the
locked
same
up with
dorm,
me.
man. All of us. Yeah, we were on the maintenance crew, so we were the S2s, and we were on the S2 dorm.
So did he talk to y'all much after that, or did y'all just stay away
I'm
from
not
him?
fucking talking to this dude after that, bro. That's not normal to me.
What happens to like a guy?
And here's the bad
I don't
part:
wanna
we're
be
not the
I
normal
don't
people.
want to be your friend after that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
I'm
hey,
like,
we're
you
not the
cool?
normal people.
Hey, you're
But
cool.
there's a certain spot where it's like,
What's a regular guy that goes in? Let's say a guy gets a vehicular manslaughter, gets drunk, has a drink, and runs over and kills somebody like Oz, and they put him in fucking prison.
I've
we
seen
had
him.
a buddy just get 100 years for
Hey,
that.
Let me tell
No
you.
shit.
Oh yeah, Brandon.
But does he have a chance?
Hey, you remember Collier? Remember Troy Collier and them?
Yeah.
In Texas. Yeah, ask his brother Stu Collier.
Okay.
I was that man. He got his third DWI and got 17 years on it. He wasn't even in the car when they did it. He was standing on the porch in the mailbox across the street. He did back out the driveway and back over the mailbox, but he pulled back in the driveway, right? Yeah. And then the cop comes and sees the mailbox and arrests him, and he gets his throw and they give him 17 years.
So what's a regular guy going to do when he fits in? A guy that's not a fighter, just a regular
what's he gonna
dude.
have to do?
What's he going to have to do to get to survive?
Man, just mind your business.
Do you know how to hustle?
Mind your business.
No.
That's what I'm saying, though. Do you know how to hustle?
I'm a bullshitter, so I could probably bullshit, but I don't. My bullshit also might get me killed.
Well, that's what I was
But
going
if
to
I
say.
mind my-
You need to know some kind of
Don't
hustle.
misrepresent
at
what
that
you
point.
are. I'm gonna
That's
tell you
what I'm
that.
saying.
They will find out.
So
who
if you're
you
just
are,
a regular dude and you're not a fighter and you just want to read books and leave,
You were an accountant, and this was your third DWI, and they threw the key.
no, let's do them again.
Hey, you got
first
stuff.
one.
Hey, you got gusto. Hey, that's a hustle.
that's a hustle.
Accountant
Sure
in
is.
there. You are a hustle.
You're gonna help some people
yes,
out.
sir.
You know, you can use them skills, but
Yes,
it depends
sir.
on what dorm you're on too. Because if some of those guys are gonna have to pay to stay, right? You know what I'm saying? Like there's gonna be some indigent fucking bullies that are gonna find out that you're just no dude. And you got a little money on your books, or whatever, and they're gonna come. They're gonna be like, hey man, I'll look out for you, but you know, I need a bag of coffee on Thursday, right? You know, shit like that, and that's what they do. That's how those dudes do it. They get them whatever this dude needs to look out for me, and that's what you hire security.
So if you're just a regular guy and you don't have money, what's happening? You're screwed the whole time, or you got to learn to fit in.
I don't know, man. I wasn't one of those.
Well, but you knew some people like that.
I mean, yeah,
There had to be somebody that was like
They
that.
have indigent programs and stuff. I mean, there's always if you're just a regular dude.
Go
and
get you a Bible. Walk around with it.
Hey, listen.
Be about that.
I don't
and
remember
don't
being
get off of that.
I don't remember being in prison with just regular motherfuckers, though. You know what I'm saying?
Most
Like,
prisons don't have just regular dudes. You're right.
You know what I'm saying? Like there wasn't too many dudes that really felt like that about because everybody that was in there needed to fuck. There's some people that need to fucking be in prison. Dude.
Hey, but no, that's
Why'd you
serious,
kill
though.
them? Because they were home.
What I said about the
man.
Bible.
It's like that dude just like talking like he just killed his grandparents like it was. What the fuck,
Yeah,
dude? That's
that's
not
just-
normal.
No,
dog.
that's not.
It's not, dude. And it was one of the defining moments for me. It really was because it made me think I ain't man. I'm not you, dog.
Well,
I'm not that,
I was
man.
laughing
That ain't
too
me.
because I
ain't-
knew just something crazy was about to happen. So I'm laughing here, but then he told the story, and I'm like,
It's rough,
like,
dog.
hey, you know, like I said, we have knee jerk reactions.
Did
Yeah.
you get locked up ever?
See, the thing is, I did a bunch of weekends. I did overnights. I did a lot of bailouts.
But you never went
I
to-
never went to prison.
Listen,
But you just went to
That's
county
the
or whatever
luckiest
it was.
motherfucker.
Hey,
You looking at
hey.
this motherfucker right here, boy.
I'm telling you right now, of all of the people that I hung out with, of everybody that I've been
Fucking
real cool with
miracle.
and everything like that, like that are my people, I'm the only one that didn't go.
Yeah,
The
that's
only.
it. The only one.
The only.
And we got
this
like,
is-
he
this
just
is-
said one of our best buddies right doing 100 years right now for
Yeah.
manslaughter. So
Yep. And he was doing better than all of us.
he was, man.
He was doing better than all of us. Got drunk, went out, killed the guy bad. Killed the guy real bad. And it was
Not
his
cool.
his family
Not cool,
his
man.
family was doing the right thing for him and making sure that justice happened for him. And my buddy, being who he is
took it.
man, he did. He took it.
Took
And
it.
he didn't want to. He tried to, hey, I'll do this, I'll donate in your name, I'll do this, that. And he wants to be free one day, right?
Ain't never gonna happen.
And that's the thing too, is he was like, I want to be free one day again. He goes, I made a mistake and things like that. He goes, I'll pay them whatever they want. I'll make donations. They can take like he just finished paying off a little small farm of his own. He's like, they can have my farm. They can do this, that. They didn't want it off the bat. You know what I mean? They wanted that first. And I get it.
I do.
I
get
do.
it.
I fully get it. And I was like, damn, this sucks. This sucks.
I can't imagine being locked up knowing you're never, ever, ever going to see
The most
somebody
gangster
again.
thing I ever seen in my life was after I seen him right after that, and he got that furlough, and then and I was like, Brandon, man, what the fuck, bro? And he's like, man, I fucked up. I fucked up, and now I gotta go pay it. So it is.
He did
the
a
most gangster shit ever.
big old
Fixing to go
thing too
through
for his
life,
family
bro.
too.
I'm like, God,
He said, he goes,
shit.
no matter what happens, he goes, when I'm found guilty and things like that, he goes, and they start to tell me what I'm getting and stuff like that, he goes, y'all need to leave at that point. Mm-hmm. He goes, you don't have to sit here and deal with what they're going to tell me. He goes, because that's what they get to tell me.
Yeah.
Like he's 10 toes down,
10 toes,
everything like
the
that.
most ganked. I love him for
And
it,
I
man.
mean-
I hate that he did it. but
Yeah.
I
Oh
love
yeah.
it.
I mean, I was, what the hell? You know what I mean? And everybody here's the crazy part. He was doing so well that he forgot about his other people. He was with a different group. He was on a different level of people that he was hanging out with.
Finally,
Correct.
Finally, he
Correct.
got there, man.
And I mean, he'd worked hard for it.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. So he left a lot of us behind. That's what you do, right? We're kind of upset because we want to see you,
Right.
but ain't nobody mad at you
For
for
moving
being
up.
better.
For being better.
You know what I mean? Like,
That's
do
like
we,
somebody
do we want to
works for
see
you.
you? Hell
Right,
yeah, I want to see
right.
you. I want you to come
Right.
around. Hey, man, I'm calling them. Hey, you coming around? You coming around? Your birthday's coming up. Our birthday's coming up. Things like that. You know what I mean? Like, we're doing this. You coming? You know what I mean? Type thing. Not a whole lot of response. You know what I mean? But when you did, it was happy. You know what I mean? We're happy. Well, fuck yeah, you're here. You know what I mean? But he wasn't. Here's the crazy part. He gets in that wreck. The people that are called, that he worked for, came to his truck, started stripping the logos off his truck where he worked.
Yeah.
Taking where we need his
found out
laptop.
who was
We need his
real.
laptop. We need this. We need that. Me and our other buddy that I talk about a couple of times already and everything. I just say I say buddy. I don't really say his name out because that's
Right.
he's like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And we're sitting in the room, and the security's running around because his family's trying to come in and find out where our buddy is. And so we're sitting in the room, and we're just sitting there like, well, guess it's going down like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he's fucked up. He's not in a coma, but he's out. He ain't awake. He's got shit everywhere, and anytime he makes a sound, it is a screeching and groan and out again. And it's terrible looking. What I saw when I walked in, I was like, oh God. Because you remember when Jason Hernandez died, and I remember watching Jason Hernandez as they pulled the plug on him after that and everything, and it looked just like that. Because he had the breathing machine, he had everything else. The only thing is, he had a neck brace, and he had just shit everywhere still. And I was replaying shit in my head. Yeah, I'm replaying shit in my head, and I'm like, oh, like my dude's gonna die too. He ended up living, but at the same time, this family is looking for him at this time. I'm like, nah, you don't get to take my dude like that. Yeah. Mind you, I didn't know how bad everything else was otherwise also, but I'm still not gonna let you take my dude.
Right,
like
didn't
that.
matter.
You're not gonna take my dude.
No, it didn't matter.
And we're sitting there, and it's me and him, and he ended up getting to work again and everything else like that for these other people and all that. But everybody that he was on that other level with and everything,
They
made
vanished.
sure that you
Oh,
knew.
they
He
jumped
knew.
ship on him,
He made
yeah.
sure he knew. Hey man, you need to go back down there.
Yeah, we don't need you down here. You're not with us. That's a shame. That's the way it is.
It was, and he
It's
and
the
he
only
had
reason
to
it's
fade
the
it
only
like that.
fucking reason he was where he's at to begin with, right?
right.
In that situation, that's one reason why it makes him so mad is because the only fucking reason he was there to begin with is because of that. You know?
Yep.
Like, dude, man, know who your people are.
I want to get your take on this real quick because Jeff and Clay were talking about this, and Clay said, or they tend to agree that the better you are at like a martial art, the more apt you are to get your ass whipped. Is that what you said, Jeff?
I said,
If it's
just 'cause
specific, yes.
I said, if you meet a guy that can fucking fight, I don't care what you know, deal.
Yeah.
If you're gonna, sometimes all that jujitsu trying to get a guy in a hold, some motherfuckers will knock your fucking teeth out or cut
Yeah,
your
goddamn
head.
I can
right,
agree with
yeah.
that. I can
Yeah,
agree. You find the
absolutely.
right motherfucker. Yes, I'll agree. I'll agree with that. If you're a singular martial art, yes. If you don't know how to really throw hands as such, or you don't know how to grapple, one or the other.
Andy was trying to throw me under the bus. Is what
But
he
what I'm
was
saying
doing.
is
I'm just
you are
trying to
in
get-
a bad way. No matter what it is, you are in a bad way. If you do not have an understanding of how to at least wrestle your way out of a bad position, how to at least box well enough to move your head and be able to hit somebody back, if you don't know how to do these things when it's a one-on-one and you're there as such, somebody that just, I want to fucking fight. You know what I mean? Like, I'm here to fight. I fucking do this. This is what I do. Stand in front of me. Yeah, you're in fucking trouble.
Do you mean?
See, my
There's a lot of people with heart. You know what I'm saying?
my
There's a lot.
counter to that was a lot of the people that do these things, and like I do jujitsu as a hobby. I'm not going looking for a fight anywhere. So like most of the people that go to these gyms, they're not in that position to begin with.
Right.
They're not going to be themselves in a street fight.
The thing is,
Right.
the thing is that, man, is that you learn that so you don't have to do that.
Yeah.
You
Right.
understand? And it's jujitsu and those kind of disciplines and fighting. Those are for defense.
Right.
You know what I'm going to do if I get in
You
this
be able to
situation?
defend yourself. You
I'm going
know?
to shoot your ass. If
I'm gonna
someone's
turn
trying to
around.
hurt me,
Like,
I'm going to shoot
I'm
you.
over here like this.
We
I'm
already
going.
know. We
Yeah,
already
that's-
know.
that's what
I know
I'm gonna
exactly
do.
what we're
Answer
talking
was
about
gonna be-
because- and that's what's normal, right? That's
Yeah.
what normal motherfuckers do because most people are scared, right?
I ain't fucking
There's-
fighting your
that's the
ass.
whole
I'm
thing.
telling you.
Well, and that's the
What does-
answer for everybody that says something crazy to me that I'm like, you can come do it. I'm gonna kill you. I'm like,
Okay.
you just proved your point that you still aren't. And this is not a knock on anything.
Right.
You're not on my level. I've brought
Right.
myself to this level,
Right.
and you're admitting that you can't touch me, and it's unfair for you.
And my
You know what I mean?
thinking is like
you're admitting that you don't have no courage.
Right.
That's courageless when you say you're going to do that, right? So, and there's one thing you can't teach in disciplines, man, and,
Right.
and that's courage. So
well,
you got to
the,
have it.
the one thing that I've realized is like how helpless I actually am. You know, so like knowing that, I have this realization that I don't want that.
Right.
I don't want to square up with anybody in an alley.
You want to know what's crazy is when I got my black belt, I was like, I'm not ready for a black belt.
That's what
Right?
I just got a blue belt and I felt the same way.
I'm not ready for a black belt, but you're appreciative of everything that they think you can do and things like that. But I'm gonna tell you like this: I went with a couple other guys after that had even black belts, and even a brown belt came in shortly after, that are just different levels of jiu-jitsu. You know what I mean, and things like that. And these guys made me feel like I was a white belt, and I'm like, wow, there's still so much to learn.
Right.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? There's still so much
Yeah.
I still need to do, so much to learn. In an MMA situation, a street fight situation, things like that, I'm very confident about all those things. Like, don't get me wrong, age is catching up with a lot of things. I can't do a lot of things as such that I could. But the average person, I kind of smirk. I'm like, I will have fun with you. You better stop.
I'll tell you how I do it. Here's how I do it, man. I'm not old an ass whooping, and I don't plan on taking one. You know what I mean?
I'll give you an example of a guy, and my dad talked about him a lot. My dad was a scrapper when he was young. My dad was a big man. Was Richard York.
Yeah,
He was
I know
he was
Richard.
one of the
But
baddest.
Richard hung around with my uncles. Yeah.
One of the baddest dudes in Wichita
Badass
Falls.
dude, yeah.
Okay. I
Did
don't
you
know
know Ernie?
I don't know if Richard knew anything about jiu-jitsu.
Did you know Ernie? You didn't know his boy?
No.
Ernie was a crazy motherfucker, boy. He was crazy.
But Richard, I don't know if Richard knew a damn thing about jiu-jitsu,
Oh,
but he
no,
would
he's
whip
just
your
a tough
ass.
son of a bitch.
But he would whip your ass.
Sure would.
And so
So would Howard Bunch.
Yeah, a lot of those guys would be. And those guys are the kind of guys that just your average person didn't just go
Right.
jump on.
Right.
And my dad was like that kind of guy. My dad was an easygoing guy, but if he was mean, but he wasn't mean at all. But if you got him in a if someone was getting hurt, that's the kind of guy you want. But Richard York
Right.
would tear your ear off of you.
Right. And
So-
then go drink at the bar like
Yeah.
nothing. Like
That's
he didn't just
exactly
bite
right.
your fucking ear off.
So,
you know?
so that guy right there, if you're a third degree black belt or second degree black belt, you jump on him, you're gonna have a fucking fight.
Oh, yeah,
Goddamn
you're still in
right, yeah.
trouble. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
mean human
absolutely.
beings, a person that's a mean human being
Right.
is hard to deal with. And that's why I told people too, though, like my dog, like that used to be like that. He's gone, but I still have enough of the
Really, all
know-how
that
on all
does for you, aside from giving you the skills you need, but it raises the level of expectations from the public about you.
Yeah.
You
Right.
understand?
Well, what I'm trying to say though is that dog that some people have is insane to think about. Like, you're just a normal guy, but you can just grab somebody and take shots and just grab somebody and just think, yeah, I'm gonna hurt you so bad. You know what I mean? And then that's all they think about. They're like, oh, I get to hurt you so bad, and that's what they're thinking about doing the whole time. You know what I mean? And it's like I say, this dog and some of these people in this world will never leave.
No,
It will never
won't
leave,
leave
and
you.
it will always be that way, like you're talking about.
will.
And even like you said, he go bite your ear off and go have a drink, just because that was fun. Let's go do something.
fun.
You know what I mean? Like, that's exactly what I wanted to do with life.
Yeah.
And you're like,
yeah.
and don't get me wrong, that's even to us guys like that. We're like, you're a little bit crazy. You know what I mean? And we even talk about it like, we're not really normal. We're,
Right.
we're
Yeah,
not really
it's
normal
not-
cats.
It's not normal, man.
So now-
But at the same
It's not.
time, like, there's some cats that we're just like,
yeah,
Billy Rainwater's another guy like that.
I know
Billy,
Billy.
good friend of mine, and
I know his boy too.
me and Billy were jacking around one time, and we were standing face to face, almost nose to nose, and he put his ankle on my ear. And I said, "This son of a bitch is 6 foot, 250 pounds, and the motherfucker can kick me in the fucking ear standing face to face." An easygoing guy, big hands, big strong guy. Well, he
Yeah.
was a tough son of a bitch too.
Tough son of a bitch.
But that's the kind of guy right there. You jump on his ass. Now I think Billy was a black belt.
Black.
Also.
He was a black belt. Yeah.
but just easy. But
So now let me ask you this, Bubba, because you talked about that dog. You've got that dog in you, obviously.
well, I still had a little bit of him, but at the one
But
that
like
the
how-
one that was 20 years old to,
Yeah.
to about 35.
He's an old dog now.
That was
he's
a bad
He's
dude.
Ollie now.
So how do you like? How does your fighting style change? Because you mentioned earlier that your chin's not as good as it used to
Chin's
be.
not as good as it used to be.
But what
The-
happened? How does your chin wear away? Is it just age? You taking too
I,
many?
Getting
I
older.
think it's too many shots. I think it's also age along with it appropriate. Just things like that come along with just being an older person.
Do you know
what I mean?
why you get knocked out? Do you know how? You know about the phallus nerve?
Your
Yeah.
jaw hits your.
Phallus nerve. Yeah. So as you get older, you get more flexible.
Yeah.
Your jaw flexes more, right? And that's why the same as your teeth. Everything
Right.
is more flexible.
But-
and so you can't grip it as tight.
Well, I'll say this too, though. When you hear "bite down on your mouthpiece," like that's
Right.
legitimate.
That's
like when
legit.
you get in there and you're
Right.
fighting somebody and you're just you're biting that mouthpiece real hard the whole time too, and you're just bearing down.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And you have to learn to go away from that and be able to box until it's and then you
Yeah. And
you
then
let it go
breathe.
again. You got to breathe again, things like that. You know, there's a lot of that goes on too that you can't really teach to people. Like,
can't.
you can't make somebody want to stand there and just get hit.
Only experience can do it.
Right.
Only
You
experience.
can't just stand there and want and know, like, I'm about to get hit, and as soon as you hit me, I'm going to crush your whole head for you. You know what I mean? Like, that's your thought. You know?
So how do you train for that? Because like there's a longevity part of this where it's like, and you don't want to hurt your sparring partners, and you want to be a good dude.
You get to, here's the thing, if you're the best guy in the gym, find another gym.
Right.
It's dead serious, and it gets to be that way. And don't get me wrong, you have to fight your way up in all these places. Everywhere you go, you're the new guy. You're about to get messed up first day. Just is what it is. Everybody's going to tee off.
And if you and there's different reasons for, you know, like if you're taking that safe just for defense, being able to defend yourself, right? He's taking it to try to be the best in the world, right? You know, so the level of it, you see what I mean? He's gonna look at it and approach it from a different way.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah. Different
is that-
intensity.
right.
Well, and to say too, that's another thing I was going to say too, though. You go in with that intensity of a street fight, you're going to be so tired after about a minute and a half, 2 minutes.
Right.
Where you can't
if
even
you make
train
it that
anymore.
long,
You
if
can't even
make
train
it that
anymore.
long.
Right.
And everybody else is standing over there going, no, stand up.
Yeah.
Stand up.
They
Put
ain't-
yourself
they're
in
not
that
even
corner
breathing
and hold
yet.
yourself up while I come over and punch you. You know what I mean? Like, legitimately happened to me. So it was just like, I can't breathe. And I quit smoking cigarettes after a week of training.
Really?
Yes. I had a pack of cigarettes in my car, and they were just like, you smoke? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah,
They
you
were
won't.
like, huh. They said, you'll quit that. And I was like, yeah, right. Okay. Because I tried. I smoked from the time I was 11 till right before I was 21. So I smoked a decade. And this is where I'm training with these guys. I already fought tough man contests. I was coming in to train for one to try to do my last like third tough man contest and all that. Like, thought that was a cool thing. And I got these guys that are MMA fighters. And Jason Maxwell had just knocked out Jens Pulver like recently before that and everything. And he was getting ready to go into WC, and he was had those Zest fights coming up, everything.
Yeah.
It was
He was rolling.
Yeah, he was a big somebody. And you had these guys, and they're just like, yeah. And they actually knew what they were doing. Back when, you had a bunch of guys that just fought, tried to, hey, I'm going to go sign up for this
Trying to
fight.
figure it out.
Right. These guys went different places, California and back,
Trained,
up to Mikey Burnett's in
learned.
Tulsa, things like that. Just did the thing. Was real, legitimate fighters that were learning fighting. And I'm a guy that's I'm a
we're talking
freaking
about back when
bouncer. I'm a
UFC
bouncer at a
won,
bar.
right? That's what we're talking about back then, you know.
Yeah, I'm a bouncer in a bar, and you got these guys. Like I say, I'm just about to be turning 21. I think this is like April of that year, and they were like, "Yeah, you're gonna quit," and I was just like, "Okay," So they're like, "All right, after training." They go, until you quit, you're going to do 12 2-minute rounds of boxing with us, and we're going to rotate on you, and you'll finish every day. And I was just like, yeah, whatever. We finished training, and I'm about ready to cry anyway because of the training. And they go, all right, put your gloves on. And I'm like,
Yeah, got
oh,
12
shit.
rounds.
I was like, oh, shit, you were serious.
It's the 12 2-minuters
Yes.
coming up.
And I had to do 12
Yeah.
2-minute rounds
bro.
for every day.
With a different fighter, though.
So, and these guys are like guys that they've had fights. They are tough guys. They're all from freaking Henrietta, except for Alan Woods, and they walked in one by one, just rotating, just switching. And I remember being knocked out, legitimately out a few times, and they'd wake up, stand me up in a corner.
Do it again.
All right, we're going to do it again. And I got knocked out again.
Whew.
You know what I mean? Just different shit. And they made it happen. And they were like, you like them cigarettes, huh? They would tell me just stupid shit like that the whole time. You like them
Sounds like
cigarettes?
Sparta, doesn't it?
You get what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah.
You like them cigarettes, huh? And I'm like, fuck. Well,
Not
I
me fucking
remember
more.
walking out every day, and I'm basically crying. You know what I mean? Because
And having a cigarette.
yeah, I pick up a cigarette and I smoke it. And I remember that Friday. I was like, went to put it in my mouth, and I was like, fuck this. I remember going, no, not again. And I threw it out the window, and I'd go to hell. I never had another one again. You know what I mean? And it was literally because I'm like, I got the shit beat out of me for smoking. So, and it was like, okay. They were, after that, they were still mean to me for a couple of months, you know what I mean?
Right.
But I didn't have to do the 12 2-minute rounds, but like a couple other times. Look at my ears, though.
But it made that difference, man.
My ears are like this because the workout that they called it after that. Oh, Bubba's here? Oh, we're going to call today's workout. So you want to be an ultimate fighter, huh? And it was, so you want to be an ultimate fighter, huh? And it was,
That's what it was.
huh?
Huh?
Yes. Yes. And I was
So
like,
there'll be
yes.
some
Okay,
skin
so
on the
what we're going to
mat.
do today is we're going to teach you how to shrimp. I'm like, what's a shrimp? Okay, you're going to learn how to shrimp while somebody's punching you. I'm like, what? Like, what do you mean? Like, they showed me, all right, he's going to mount you. He's going to start punching. You're going to try to get out. And they just said that. That's all they did. I start getting punched. They said, you can start trying to get out when he starts punching. He starts punching. I start trying to get out. I roll over. I'm turtled up. And when you turtle up, they said, oh, turtled up. Hit him in the ear.
Bam, every time.
Oh, fuck.
They pull your hand away. Whack! Blast you in the ear. So I had giant ears.
It's hard
Right
to
off the
believe.
bat.
Were you paying for this treatment?
No. Well, I was paying the gym dues, but not them.
What, did you ever jump on a guy when you was bouncing and thought, oh, shit?
A couple of times, but at the same time, choked him to sleep.
Did you? But you had a few of them that just kind of, there was a handful.
I'll say
Gotta
this,
get this
yes. There was
motherfucker down
a
quick.
couple of
Yeah.
times that you start hitting somebody and they're just gaining, like getting back up and they're still getting up while you're continuing. I'm like, I dropped you and you're still getting up. Yes, I had that happen a couple of times and scary. You know what I mean? At that point, because you're like, man, we're really getting it right here. And this dude is still just climbing up. And it was all around us. And I remember thinking one time that I was like, somebody better get over here and help me. You know what I mean? Thank God they do because you're teams and things like that. But
Hey man, how many times have I had called Bubba is because of that? You know, because of me and my wife would go places, and I ultimately end up getting in a fight, right? And I beat somebody up or somebody's, you know, and then I get invited to a party. I got a call about, hey man, I'm gonna go to this party, man.
why don't you call me here in an hour?
I mean, like, I don't think they're gonna do nothing, man, but I know they invited me to this party. I
Yeah.
just got to beating this dude up, so, you know,
Yeah.
you know what it is. So I'm not gonna not go, right? Like, I'm not no punk. You know?
When's the last time you got in a
You might
fight?
can whip me, but you're gonna have to, you know.
When's the last time you got in a fight?
Probably it's been 3 or 4 years, 4 or 5 years ago, maybe. I think maybe around 50 when I was 50, maybe
Talking about having to jump out the truck?
when I had beat up Brent Beggs and them at the bar, you know.
yeah,
so.
different one. Okay. Yeah, different one.
Remember they were there,
Yeah,
they were
different
mad.
one.
That's
Okay.
interesting. So, anyways,
Well, man,
How many times do you think-
what we got?
How many times do you think you've been knocked out?
In my life, like I've been knocked out a few times. And
Yeah.
I tell people that. Like I got knocked out in that first couple of months, I probably took 15 to 20 real knockouts.
Do you worry about CTE later on?
So, and that's one thing too, is like I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. I have what I feel is normal. I feel like I'm normal. Right. I do the things like that. Do I have, like I say, we have different resolve for things. Do I have anger issues? Do I have things like that? Sure. Getting a little older, everything like that, it's been a lot easier to handle. Finding a little bit of God, been making things easier to handle. Not having people in front of me. Like the crazy as it is, as much as it sucks to say, the internet keeping people away from me because they're just not there when they're talking is a good thing, because I liked going and finding people. I liked going to their houses. I liked all that stuff. You know what I mean? I liked doing that. These days, I'm like, you're not here. I don't know where you live. I can find out, but at the same time, I don't really know how to use a computer so well. Things like that. You know what I mean?
Don't pursue
You're not in
we're
front of me.
Not pursuing it, you know.
Okay, I'm going to sit here and be pissed off and have basically a heart attack of anxiety at my own house, but I'm going to stay at my own house.
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's another thing of that.
Guess where you
too,
get to
though.
wake up too.
Yeah.
In your own house.
Yeah.
what's the boy's name that was married to Jenna Jameson, the fighter?
Tito Ortiz.
Oh,
Tito.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is he a horse's ass?
So I had never got to meet Tito in person. I walked by him while he was doing a jog, you know what I mean, at one of the hotels down in Fort Worth while the UFC was there and everything. But I never got to actually meet him. I didn't talk to him. I don't know him personally, so I couldn't make a
What's
a
the
real-
Randy guy's name that was a long
Couture?
time?
Randy Couture?
Yeah. Is he
The-
still around?
He's
still alive? Movie
doing, he
star.
does things. The thing is about Randy
he's
is
still alive.
nobody, I don't think anybody has bad words to say about Randy. So
He was the old man in the deal.
He was an
he's
old man.
He's well liked. Yeah, he's a well
Was he?
liked fighter.
Who's the guy that got his leg broke? The black guy that was nobody could fight for. He was beating
Anderson
everything.
Silva.
Yeah.
Anderson? Anderson, I don't know much about Anderson either. I walked by him one time too. Never hung out with
He's
him.
built like James, isn't he?
No, he's more my size.
Okay.
He's
He looks
I
taller
should say like the
Length,
build,
yeah.
yes, but height. He was about my height, and we fought
Shorter.
the same weight class. So yeah, he was a little shorter. He's probably, I think Anderson's 6'2", James 6'5", right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's say but this build, Looks-
and I don't
looks
think I
similar,
could ever
yes.
get down to 185. No, I mean,
Yeah, but like I said, you got an extra 3 inches.
Well,
of everything, too.
but he was a skinny old guy though. But I mean, he was a hell of a fighter. I mean,
Yeah, he fought at
He's
170
fighter,
one
right?
time.
Yeah.
Well, not
Yeah,
one
badass
time, a
fighter.
few
when
times.
he broke his fucking leg that time, God Almighty. Ugh.
I was in Vegas when that happened. No, I was in Vegas when the knockout happened. And so the leg break, I was actually at home here with my mom.
Same guy knocked him out though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The white guy.
Yeah.
Kicked him in the face.
Chris
right?
Weidman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Weidman was it was a shot. It was
Oh,
punches.
okay, yeah.
It was punches. But
Weidman, the color hair.
No, he's black haired
Chris,
guy.
Chris Wiedemann.
Chris Weidman,
Yeah.
Chris Weidman, yep. But when I stood beside him and I actually got to meet him and everything like that dude, I was like, dang, I'm bigger than you are. But at the same time, like weight class, I always did that. I was like,
Yeah.
am I bigger than you? Am I smaller than you? But like Anderson seemed like a big person. Like when you walk by him, like I say, he just seemed like a big person. Chris was a big person too, but I was like, I'm bigger than you. You know what I mean?
Who's the nicest guy before we get off here? Because we're gonna have to get ready.
Nicest?
Nicest on the UFC. All them guys. Who's actually really like a nice guy? Any of them?
You want to know what's funny? The nicest guy that's ever been there to me was probably Clay Guida.
I don't know who that is. Then.
Yeah,
All right, but
wild
but
hair.
behind that, Chael Sonnen was as nice as he ever could be to me.
He seems like a good dude. I like
does.
Chael.
He does.
Chael's
like a
persona
persona.
is a persona. To me, he was so nice to me.
Biggest horse's ass.
Horse's ass. I never got to meet him, but it was Phil Baroni because of his persona on that. But the actual biggest horse's ass, Josh Koscheck.
Oh, man, I hated that dude, man.
Yeah, he seemed.
That's just my opinions.
He's fucking-
my opinions.
Yeah.
Have you seen the clip where Chael Sonnen? I guess him and Francis Ngannou have kind of gone back and forth.
Have not.
So he was like, Francis is not a fan of Chael. So he's
Francis is not a fan of a whole lot of things.
He's like,
I've come to find out.
we're in the parking lot going to an event, and he said, I've got my boy. He's probably 10 years old, and he's like, I look across the way, and it's Francis Ngannou. He's like, Francis Ngannou is a large human being,
Yeah, he's
6'5",
big guy.
wide
human.
man, and Francis Ngannou makes a beeline to me, and he's like, we've got security, but they're not getting involved, and he's like, Francis Ngannou is like, give me the what for, and Chael's always said he's got a rule. Nobody gets in arm's reach. Like
Right.
you get in arm's reach,
Right. And then
we got a problem.
You know what it is, yeah.
But he's like, I don't want to engage with this large human being. Like it is not going to end well for Chael Sonnen. He said, I can't put my hands up because then that's going to trigger something. So he said, Francis, not in front of my son.
Right.
And he said he looked over at Chael's boy, and that was the end of it. Walked away. But he said, had my son not been there,
Man shit.
Chael might have got his ass whooped.
Here's what I'm gonna
man-
say
that's
too. Though
man shit,
Chael
man.
definitely gets eaten by Francis Ngannou.
yeah,
It is what it
man,
is,
yeah,
and we
and
all
Chael
know
knows
this.
that.
And Chael understands this too. The thing is too though is I don't feel like he fears the ass whooping.
No.
As in like he'd never take
But he's
it.
not a striker
But
like that.
but you're a normal human being. You're like, damn, this is gonna suck. I really don't want to do this.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I
Right.
don't want to do this. I'm here to do it, but I don't want to do it. You know what I mean?
What's the little Irish fucker's name? That's
Connor.
cocky?
Conor McGregor.
Connor.
Hate
You ever
him.
deal with? Have you had to deal with him ever?
Have never had to deal with him. The only time I saw him, he was a fucking cocky looking little motherfucker, and I never liked anything about it.
Nobody likes him except
I can't-
all the millions of people that do, and it shocks me.
Here's my thing. Here's my thing. Everybody thinks that and here's the dude that I fought this last fight against. I told him, I said, this Conor McGregor bullshit that all y'all are thinking that you have to do and start and
Yeah, to get
everything
riled up.
is garbage. It's like, it's garbage. You don't have to do these kind of things to people.
Right.
You don't have to talk to people like that. You can hype a fight
Just do it at the hype of
and
five,
still be
right?
and
Yeah.
still be as respectful as
Respectful.
such. If you want to make it to where you dislike each other, cool. Dislike each other, but be respectful of don't call me a fucking bitch and shit like that either. Man, I don't want to fight you in a ring. I don't want to fight you in a ring. And that's the thing too, though, is I got pushed into it by the promotion and the guy that I know and everything. They're like, this is who they want you to fight. I'm like, I fucking don't want to fight this guy in a ring. I want to fight this guy somewhere else where it's for keeps.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's because of the talk that Conor McGregor started for everybody and things like that. I dislike it.
So he's probably
much.
one of the most disliked guys on the whole deal.
Well, by me,
By other
By
by
me?
other fighters.
other fighters. The thing is too is people
want that
use
money.
it
They like
because
that money.
people are using his
about money.
platform and things that he does because that's how he got money. I
Right.
need money.
That's how you got money. So
Well,
You
he's
got
made
you
it
got
a
0-2
shitload of
guys. You got 1-1 guys. You got things like that that are in regional promotions that people come watch me fight. I want this kind of money. And I'm like, dude, you ain't earned that kind of money. I kickboxed a couple years back after my son passed, even after being out of the UFC, everything else for $800. Mm-hmm. I kickboxed for $800. because I just want to fight, things like this. Do I feel like I should have earned more? Sure. Do I feel like I'm a better fighter than $800? Sure. But at the same time, that was the promotion, what they were offering. I wanted to do it closer to
A lot more than I
hometown.
made for beating that dude up at the bar.
But you know what I'm saying? I wanted to do it at home, closer to hometown, so I could have people there and everything to watch. So I did it. But then you got these other guys, I ain't fighting it. I'm pulling all my guys and this, that, and the other. If you don't pay me this and that and that. And I'm like, that's a garbage ass attitude.
What's the most you've ever made in a fight?
16,000. And I made that in the UFC because I won. The other 2 fights in the UFC, I made 8,000 each. So
And you get you get to fight once a month?
no, I fought in, it was April, then like August, and then I think it was March.
So what I'm trying to tell people is the average guy is not going to make a living fighting.
No,
No.
absolutely not. And then at that, like I say, on top of all that money I made, a manager took 20%. The trainers took
And
15%.
federal government took part.
Promoter.
Then the federal
trainer,
government took 37%.
government.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. The guys like Conor McGregor that
And
are
the
making $1
cocaine and
million,
hookers didn't help either.
those are the guys that are making the big money. Most of the guys don't make no money.
Correct.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
And that's better than the guy who's fighting in a bar somewhere tonight in Lubbock, Texas, at a deal getting $50 to fight.
Better than your tough man,
Well,
probably.
I was going to say, tough man is you pay to fight. It's fun. Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, like, yeah, you're in there getting free head trauma. You know how it is.
Free hedge.
And it just is
That's
what
all
it
it
is.
is. I didn't love fighting that much. I'm just not gonna back down from it. Right? Like
Well,
I
and that's
was
the thing,
raised
too,
around.
is-
I was raised around with Clay and all those guys. Man, I grew up with them guys and I watched them fight, and they didn't give a fuck. There's some fighting ass dudes because they just fought.
So
Not 'cause
whenever
they
you
knew how.
whenever you listen to Ron White talk about he was one of them bouncers that went home with dad and watched Roadhouse and fondled himself. Thought that bouncing was a cool job. I was bouncing then, and I thought bouncing was a fucking cool job because I got to fight people. You know what I mean? Like I thought that was the coolest thing ever. I really did. Now that I'm older, I'm like, he's like one of those guys, and I'm like, yeah, that's a shitty person to be.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's a shitty person to be.
Yeah,
You're
that
right,
is.
Ron. I didn't think that in my 20s, but right now you are absolutely correct. Because I heard it again the other day, and I was like, damn, he's right.
Fighting's different than it is today than it was in the 70s and 80s because people shoot and stab and that was going on,
they
but not
can't
like
man
it
up.
is now.
Well, and that's the thing, too,
people
though, is-
can't take an ass whooping. Just
Right.
you get your ass whooped, get in your car,
And
go home.
Man.
Well,
If you're owed it, then you need to take it.
I got stabbed in a
Right.
fight. I got shot going to a fight.
You got
know?
shot?
Yeah, I got shot. Shattered my arm 2 years ago. 2 years ago. As a matter of fact,
I remember this.
Let me give some bad things, and I didn't put it out publicly because it was Charlie Kirk's day. Everybody needed to be talking about Charlie Kirk, but it was 2 years to the day that I got shot.
You got shot.
Yeah,
you were
And I was
going
like,
to a fight?
huh?
You were going to a
So
fight?
my 17-year-old son
Yeah,
got into
street
some
fight.
shit with
A
some
street
people.
fight.
Yeah.
And had been in a fight the night before and had this little 15-year-old girl set him up to go find this guy that was an older guy. And the guy said, Brad, bring your bitch ass daddy. And so when he calls me and tells me that, and I was like, oh, okay. So I go over there and I'm like, listen, son. I said, if these are all kids that are showing up over here, I was like, and y'all are getting out to fight, I was like, I'm not getting out. So if this grown man comes over and says that he wants to fight like you are and everything, I'm taping my wrists up. Mind you, at this time,
When you go to the street fight, the guy's wrapping his wrist.
Yeah.
You know
And
it's
I'm
a
not-
real
That's
fight.
what comes out
and
just
I-
straight shooting, right?
yeah. So I'm wrapping my wrists up and everything. We're at this one place and they're like, oh, you're at the wrong place. Everything, it's a whole big hoopla. And people are trying to tell me, oh, no, you did this and that. And I'm like, okay, whatever. But I'm telling you, I was over here because this guy said, bring your bitch ass daddy and everything. But then my son doesn't tell me too, though. Whenever we go find out we're at the wrong place and going to the other place, he says, when you get here, I'm going to blow you up. I'm like, you didn't tell me that, son. He told you he was going to fucking shoot us when we got here, and you didn't tell me? He's like, I didn't know what that meant. I'm like, you're a fucking wankster. I hate you.
So the guy popped you?
So, yeah, I got shot in my arm right here.
How far away was he?
So if you think about it like this, so you got the projects over there. You got in Benton on L.
Which
and-
ones?
Been down there, the ones
Benton on L down there
that
off,
the one
it's off
on-
of Carolina is where it was, but Wichita Street, all that, down there off of MLK.
East Side Drive.
East
right,
Side, yeah.
drive,
MLK Drive, you ain't got to say nothing else. I know.
Yeah, but yeah, we're over there in Benton on L.
Where Lincoln is.
The
I know where it's
PJs,
at.
yeah. So I'm over there, and as we go there, like I say, I turn it around and we come up. I'm on one side where the old abandoned church is. I didn't know the abandoned church was there. I only knew the one on Wichita Street because that's where I was at. Whenever I was in the PJs, I stayed on Wichita.
Yeah.
And
The PJs is a project center.
I know.
Yeah.
Kid like you wasn't
Layman
raised
terms.
around that kind of
White
stuff.
House.
layman terms, yeah. So I go over there and I drive, and it's at the dead end. So I turn around at the dead end and I park. So let's say this is the road, right? My glasses are the road. I come in, I park on the right by there because there's the church there. And they said, and I'm like, son, how many people are on this thread with you? Because they're talking on a Snapchat thread, talking crap to each other. And I'm like, how many people are on this thread? He's like, oh, there's like 5 of them. I'm like, something ain't right. And next thing I know, he goes, there he is, Dad. And it's the guy that told him to bring his bitch ass over here. And he's about right here. Okay. So he's at an angle.
Walking out from out of a building.
Right. Yeah. Well, no, he come out of his house and came out through the middle right there. He comes out at an angle. Well, he's at an angle, and my son goes, Daddy's got a gun. I was like, fuck him. You know what I mean? Like, first thing I said, I was like, fuck him. He's going to have to do something. So he fucking did,
So
you know?
How far away did he shoot you from?
So the thing is, when he popped his first shot, so he popped a shot that he tried to say I shot at.
Maybe 50 yards.
That's what he was trying. When he's trying to tell people, like, come find out. The police were like, yeah, he said you shot at him, and then the other, and ended up when they got the footage that was around and everything like that, because they went to everything else. Right. They shot. He popped a shot in the fucking ground. Well, when he popped on in the ground, I went, did that motherfucker just give us a warning shot? You know, like, because I'm like, huh. Because I'm in trouble for shooting at somebody. I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, mind you, I'm in trouble for that myself. So I'm like, and that's what I did is I gave a dude a warning shot, like, you need to leave. And I'm like, this motherfucker give me a warning shot? Well, as soon as I said that, when my son said, oh shit. And I said, get that on camera. So my son picks up his phone.
I don't think I'd be that calm.
Well, mind you, my son was like, how the hell did you stay so calm the whole time? Even after I was shot, my son, I was checking on everybody and everything. And my son was like, are you hit, Daddy? You all right? And I'm like, yeah, I'm shot. And he was just like, what the fuck? You know, like, he said, it was the most gangster thing I ever saw. You didn't make a sound when you got shot. I was like, but what was I supposed to do? I was saving everybody's life at that point because I had him beside me and I had another kid in the back. And they're both 17-year-old kids. I'm thinking, oh, shit. So, but at the same time, he comes out, pops that shot. Well, when he pops the shot, he's walking toward us. And I told my son, get that on camera. Well, as he picks it up, he just starts unloading. And I'm like, fuck. And you hear me go, that motherfucker busted. Like, and I throw it in drive. So when I throw it in drive, I come out and around, and I'm in the center of the road at that point, and he's still walking at us. And I have to drive right by him as he's shooting at us from the side of the road. Because the rest of it behind me is a motherfucking dead end.
It's a dead end, yeah.
So I'm sitting there, and I did it just like any other head kick high block. I'm right here, right? So I hold on to my head, and I said, get down. And I ducked, and I just held onto the bottom of the steering wheel, and I held my head, right? Well, I'm holding my head, and I hear, doot, 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 doot. It's starting to hit my car, right? I'm like,
son of a bitch.
Fuck. You know what I mean? Yeah. And my son is over here just like, oh, you know. Well, I get hit, and I knew I got hit because my head kick high block, you know, and the bad part is I told everybody, I said, getting hit didn't hurt. It didn't hurt. It didn't burn. It didn't anything like everybody said. I have took way worse head kicks, like blocking head kicks and get thrown to the ground and been dizzy and everything. It just hit, boom, and my arm fell, boom. And I was like, shit. So I sat up and I sat behind where the post, sat up behind the post of the car where it's in between there, right? So I sat up there and I'm just still driving with that one arm under here, but this one's on me and I see the blood start just coming out. I'm like, fuck, you know? Well, then I tried to pick it up.
You're lucky you had it. That would have been in your head.
It would have. Yeah. Now I'm gonna get into that too. So I tried to do this with my arm. It went like that. And I was like, and I felt all the bones moving. So I knew my arm was shattered. I'm like, damn, it's broke as hell. And so I'm driving, and then nothing happens. I got it. So my son and everybody and this other kid is over there, and I'm thinking the car got hit a lot, and I got hit. Did anybody else get hit? So I'm like, Sonny, you get hit? You hit? You anybody hit? You know, he's like, you okay? He's like, I'm good. I looked at the kid in the back, and I was like, you all right? He's like, yeah, I'm good too. I'm good. And my son goes, you all right, Dad? I was like, I'm shot. Or no, I said, I'm hit. And he goes, what? I was like, and I looked at him. I said, I'm shot, Brian. You know, and he goes, oh shit. He starts freaking out. I said, hit the hazards for me. We're going to the hospital. And he goes, Dad, I can drive. And I was like, I'll get us there faster. And I'm just literally like talking to him like that right at that point.
Were you bleeding real bad too?
So I tell people the way that I put it out to is like, not that it was spurting. It wasn't like doing like an artery or anything like that. But it looked like if you took a bottle of water and just started pouring it.
Yeah, it was going blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, there was no water to it or anything like that. Like the look, it was just a steady stream, like a waterfall, just straight coming out of my arm. And I was like, tourniquet. Well, and I needed one, but wasn't thinking about one. Was thinking drive to the hospital. That was my thoughts. It was at that point. It was all right. If I'm gonna live, I got to get to the hospital because that was pouring out. And I mean, it came out a lot. I was just like, well, that's a lot of blood. That's not a little blood. That's a lot of blood. And so my car is getting filled up with it and everything too. And I'm just sitting there with my arm on me, and I'm driving 90 to nothing to get to the hospital. I pull in, and as we get to the parking lot, my son's like, Dad, I'll park the car. And I went, cool. And I put it in park, and I grabbed my arm, and I turned it up and looked at it, and I was like, oh. shit. So I start walking in. And as I walk in, I go in there and they were like, hey, Bubba, what are you doing here? I was like, well, I'm shot. And she goes, for real? And I was like, and I moved my arm over a little bit. And I was like, yep. And then I told him, because at that point, I realized, okay, I'm going to live, right? I'm going to live. I'm here. Everything's good. And then all of a sudden the pain hit and I got dizzy.
The adrenaline.
Yeah, it went away.
Off.
Yeah, I didn't need it, and I was just like, I told him, I said, and I'm about to pass out on you. And when I told him, I was like, oh, I'm about to pass out on you. They're like, oh shit. I was like, yep. So I ducked down and I put my hand down. So I put my arm on my leg as I went down and I put my hand down and I'm braced and I'm like dizzy, just dizzy. And they bring me the chair and I start to pass out in the chair and I'm like, man, you got to stay the fuck awake. What are you doing? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm just like, well, I'm awake, like try to make myself like, get back in the back. And a guy that used to date my sister's in the back, a girl that I used to train as a client for Fit Body Boot Camp was over there and they're there and I'm like, hey, how you doing? Just trying to be like, whatever.
Telling stories and shit like,
Man.
what are you here for? Oh, I got pneumonia. What are you here for?
So all of a sudden they're just like, oh, you're really we need to stop the bleeding. Well, they start to go up bleeding. I'm like, you know what I mean? Like looking at them like, be careful. You know what I mean? So then I'm like, oh, and I'm like, God damn, this hurts. You know what I mean? Like now I'm at it hurts and the bullet's right here sitting. So that's how close it got. If it didn't shatter the bone, it would have still went in my head.
Oh, fuck.
So me holding my head like that, if it didn't shatter the bone, because like I said, you can see right here where the scar is, because I have titanium rod in there now, holding my arm. It's inside of the bone. They call it a nail. I can't remember exactly what it is, but it's a nail.
That kid saved your life.
Yep.
But that guy, did they attempted murder for that guy?
No,
This is gonna
they
be a
gave him
bullshit
aggravated
story.
assault. They gave
Aggravated
him aggravated assault.
Aggravated fucking assault?
Yeah, he got 8 years.
He'll be home in 2 more years. That's
Yeah,
what I
he'd
told
be home in
Bubba. I
2
said,
more years. That's what they told me.
Hope you're ready,
And
dog.
They were like, and then like say, I told him, I said, we got to kill each other, right? When I told the detective that and the DA that, I said, we got to kill each other, right? And he was like, well, this, that, and the other. I said, I'm not telling you I'm looking for him. I'm not going to look for him, anything like that. I said, but if you think he sees me and doesn't going to try to kill me or something like that for taking away his life and things like that, I said, you really think that's going to happen?
Yeah.
And they were like, no, he's probably going to try to get you when he sees you.
Did you have a beef with this guy before?
Nope.
Never knew
Never
him.
heard of him. Never seen him. Never nothing before in my life. And the thing is I get to the courtroom while he's there one time, and he's over there laughing, and he looks at me and goes pop, 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 at me whenever he's in the courtroom, and they just let it happen in the court and everything. And I'm looking like at the bailiffs, and I'm just like, so I sat back and went, and I was like. And he was like, "You're a pussy." I was like, "You a bitch." You know what I mean? Like, I was
he
telling
knew what that was.
and there was another guy over there, and I was just like,
gonna get your money.
yeah, like it's right there. You know what I mean? Like, and that's kind of how I did it in the courtroom because I just couldn't talk. I just sat there and did that. And I was
he a younger guy?
Yeah, he's like 22. Come to find out,
Gangbanger?
I don't think he's a gangbanger, but he
Wannabe.
has a gang of punks, and a
Wannabe.
couple
Just
of them have went to
wannabe.
jail for murder since too.
Damn.
Also themselves.
Yeah.
That there was
Yeah.
the one at West End.
Yeah.
That happened there. One of these guys, they just don't want to fight. There's guys coming out to fight him. Dude's walking up to him. Dude turned around, just turns around, goes pop, and just walked away.
Fuck. Dude, thank God your son told you that. Could you imagine if your kid went there by himself? Like if he just
Yeah, no.
That's
bring your bitch ass down. He's like, no, fuck, I don't need to bring the old man
Yeah.
into this and just went
The
down
bad
his
part
own.
is too, though, is he had a truck of other kids that were coming there because they thought it was gonna be like a 5-on-5 kid fighting kids type thing. And the other group of kids that were in the other truck, they were going anyway. My son got in with me because I told him he's getting in with me. And
Right.
you know what I mean?
So what hurt worse, getting stabbed or getting shot?
Stabbed for sure.
Where'd you get stabbed at?
I got cut behind the arm back here.
Right here in the back. Right here in the back.
Yeah.
Bar
And I was
fight?
saying behind my arm right here, I got cut with a piece of glass.
A bar? What was it? A bar fight or what?
Got cut, and when it cut me, it hurt like hell because my arm didn't feel like it worked anymore at that point. The like I say, the shot hurt afterwards more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The stabbing thing hurt immediately.
So they just they broke a
Almost
bottle.
cut my whole
Yeah.
wrist off.
Yeah, I got with a bottle. Yeah.
Cut all through that hurt. I still don't have the use of my fingers.
But
right
that's
way
what
now.
I was talking about earlier. Back in the day, you didn't hear about guys just pulling up and start shooting at people like that.
Yeah, man, you gotta just get out and handle your business.
I
man.
don't think
if you're gonna run your mouth, then you better be able to fight.
Yeah, I just the reality of life is they don't get it. 22
They
years,
don't,
kids
man.
22 years
don't.
old and he's pissed off. And
Well, they think it's a video game too. They think that they
Yeah.
can shoot this person,
Right.
and then they guess what? They're going to come back when,
start the game
we're not
over and
mad
they're
no
there.
more. They're going
Right.
to come back. And it don't happen like that.
that's too bad. All right, we got dinner in the other room
Yep.
there
All
to
right.
do.
We
Man,
gotta
it's
go.
been a great time. I'd like to
Hey,
have
it
you
was
on
good.
again.
Let's
It's
do it
been,
again.
I really,
I was gonna say, let's definitely do this again.
it's
Yeah,
a very
appreciate
enjoyable
that.
conversation, and we're not. I told you we're not politically correct. So we talk
I
about
mean,
everything.
it's good. It's good.
Yeah,
You know,
Well, anyways, I appreciate both being on here. I've known James a long time, Bubba.
it was great to meet
lot
you.
different guy than I thought you would have been.
Take it as a compliment, I guess.
Yeah,
I
that-
mean,
that
I
is.
appreciate
You're not
it.
an
Don't get me
asshole.
wrong. I appreciate it.
He's just not. I thought you was the guy shooting at the people, not the guy that was getting shot at.
Well, you know how it is. Like I say, it's the persona that's put off, as I was saying too, though, and it's at that point where I don't need a persona anymore.
Yeah.
At that, but at the same time, was a bad person, trying to be a better person. Right. And let me throw this out there too, though. A lot of people don't know it, but I've been telling everybody too, though, just in case anybody back home watches this wants to go. I am going to be baptized this Sunday.
Nice.
Trying to give my life over to God
Right.
and
Good
start
for
my,
you.
Good
start
deal.
my new
Hell yeah,
life,
bro.
God bless you, man.
Thank you.
That's a great thing. I'm a terrible Christian, but
I'm
I go to
terrible.
church
Hey,
and I believe in.
terrible.
I've told everybody too, though, I am not great at everything as such, but I am so much a better person with it in my life and everything that's going on. This is my path. This is what I
Hey,
want to
man,
walk,
ain't
and
that
it's
what it's
hard.
about, right? Hey.
No, there's nobody in the world that has Jesus in their life that are worse off for that. Nobody. There's
Fasting
it's the
person.
best thing you could have in your life. Andy's a deacon in his church. I'm a
Not the
sinner.
deacon.
I'm a sinner sitting on the back row all the time at Heathen Row.
Hey, some people can learn their
I'm
life
second
from
row.
lessons from
I'll stay
stories, you know what I'm
second
saying?
row.
And some of us got to get out there and do stupid shit, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
That's right.
All right, thank you guys for being
Thank
on here.
you.
God bless
All right.
with you. Oh, what's
Love
the
y'all.
boys in Thornberry?
Oh yeah. The Red Bed Turf Farm guys.
Yep,
man.
if you want to buy
Trey-
some turf, check them out.
Hank Coney and Trey Cox, man. Go
Yeah.
hit them up. Burt
They're
Burnett.
podcast listeners. Check them out. Burt
They
Burnett's
are.
over by the River Creek Golf Course. God bless y'all. Thank y'all for listening. Peace.
Peace.
Right.
All right.
Bubba,
man.
James, that was great.